La 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 lava, chicken. Ooh, hear a story, and we're with our friends. Ooh, doing podcasts. We're doing it again. Yeah, it's fun talking about comics. Yeah. Oh, look, it's JD. He's got nice hair. There we go. Welcome to a
Ooh,
Hero
you
Story
kind
podcast.
of that wasn't bad. That wasn't bad.
For a thing I made up in the moment. All right, here we go. A Hero Story. Welcome, episode
Episode
4, episode
four.
304.
Should
Tyler,
we
take it
say
away.
your names?
Yeah, my name's Tyler.
I'm
My
Tom King.
name, Hunter.
JD.
I'm Tom
Hey,
King.
thanks for
Cool.
watching our Tom King episode that came out last week. That was ended up
Yes.
being way better than any of us could have anticipated. Tom King was a really funny guest, surprisingly.
I
So,
think it went
despite writing all
exactly
these
as I
depressing
expected.
comics, and
Yeah, I didn't think
it
it
was
was
fun.
like
It was
that
a fun
much more
time.
than I anticipated. I thought it would be good. It was
I
pretty
didn't
good.
anticipate
Yeah.
him putting our stuff on his story, commenting on our post,
Yeah,
That's
and
yeah,
true.
being
saying
our
next time
biggest
we're
fan.
vampires.
hmm
Yeah, yeah,
That's
That
pretty good. That's
hmm
good
It's so
it
stuff.
was
strange,
awesome.
like seeing my face on his story and being and like looking through his following and
Yeah.
being like, who's seeing this? James
Yeah.
Gunn just saw
done.
my face.
James Gunn, yeah, James Gunn probably
Yeah.
because they are coworkers
You should have
now.
told we should have
Uh,
told Com King, be like, dude, you gotta connect us with James Gunn.
Comting.
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 You gotta get us with James Gunn.
Next time,
Yes.
baby.
hmm
And for a little inside scoop here about that interview, Tyler was so scared before it started. Like he
I
was
just,
nervous as
dude,
hell.
Oh,
I got
He
nerves,
pissed
man.
his little pants.
I
Yeah.
had that didn't piss my little pants. I also don't have little pants.
He pissed his little
Um,
pants, and
I,
he pisses them all the time, but he
no,
doesn't want you to know
He
that.
was doing that thing
stop,
where he bites his
bro.
nails like
yeah, like SpongeBob.
Guys,
yeah.
stop. Why you guys calling me out? Just because I have nerves and I do all of those things, yes,
We had
doesn't
to keep telling him
mean.
to we had to keep telling him to mute his mic because it sounded like ice cubes in a glass being shook.
Listen. All right, you did say that last week. That's true. That is exactly what you said. I
He
just
also
have
poops his
nerves.
pants. Loves-
Hey, stop with the poop. I just have nerves. Listen, because like I have nerves all the time. When I was graduating college, I was like convinced till I walked to the stage and they said my name. I was like, I'm gonna get up there and they're gonna be like, we don't have a degree for you. Like like I was like every
He'll
single
still call
day.
you up.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm like. I just have nerves, man. I just have them. All right, and I don't feel bad about it. You know what? It keeps me alive, doesn't it? I'd rather feel that than nothing. So,
Okay.
so anyway,
Yeah. I guess none of us feel anything.
yeah, that's
Welcome to
true.
a hero story.
Welcome to Hero Star episode 4. Oh, can that be the title of the episode already? I'd rather feel that than nothing.
Yo, absolutely. You know I love a fucked title.
So we have some comic news.
The
We obviously-
listeners are gonna look at the title right now and say like, wait, they're saying that's the title, but the title's Harper dies.
Yeah.
yeah, Harper
They do.
dies for real, not clickbait. Yeah.
I
Um.
love it. It almost feels like we kept it together for Tom King last week, and now we're like, let's fucking go. Like
No,
we've
literally.
lost the plot.
Yeah.
We
Well,
were so serious, and now I'm just picturing like the thumbnail being Matt Murdock when he walked on Heather Glenn and like shocked, but it's Harper.
Oh man, that's a good. I could do it.
oh, nice. Speaking
What should
of
the
that
thumbnail
issue,
be, guys?
No,
5 minutes
no,
in.
no.
Yeah,
speaking of that
sorry.
issue, Harper, you made a video.
That was my
You want
segue
to plug
to you.
it?
Did I
Did anybody
did
see
I make a
it?
video? I don't think anyone saw it. So it
Listen,
doesn't
man,
matter.
Harper's feeling real depressed about it. He texted
To
us.
be fair,
You want to throw me under the bus for shitting my pants every week? Harper texted us
Mm.
drunk this morning, I
Drunk.
guess
that
last
was
night.
sad.
He was,
Brad,
bro.
That
I had to
was
tell him to get the
sad, dude.
gun out of his mouth.
How much red wine did you have, Harper?
Oh, bro, there was a point in the night where like I'm pouring like glasses up to here, and I just grabbed the bottle and just went like, oh, oh, I've done the glizzy
Can I get-
again. I did it.
That wasn't good. That wasn't good.
Yeah. Yeah. So there was a bit. Although I maintain everything I was saying there, I was feeling sad. I still am.
It was a good video. I think it was a good video. I don't
It
think
is,
it really
yeah.
Also
matters.
got a lot of comments, more comments than most of our videos get. So
Look,
interaction.
I would say, cheers to the ones that we got.
It's on YouTube. It's on a Hero Story YouTube. It's
Darkest
about
Daredevil
the
issue ever. Is
Darkest
that what it's called?
Daredevil. It's
Story.
the one that Heather dies in.
The
Yeah,
one where
so-
Heather kills
yeah.
herself. Yeah. So you don't actually have to watch the
It's
video
a-
now. We told you.
Yeah, you're
But
good.
it's like
Yeah,
it's
it's pretty
like a
much it.
comedic video, I guess. You could say.
It's funny
just me,
about
bro.
suicide, I
It's good.
guess. So anyway,
Just me.
I liked it. I thought it was a good video. I think
I thought so too. It was better
don't
than my One
not
Piece one.
make videos, idiot. He was like throwing
Mhm.
away his whole career. I think, what are you doing?
It was a
I'm
drunken
feeling-
thing though. He didn't actually mean it.
I think he meant it. Look at him.
I don't
think
think
it-
he
I
I
meant
think-
this. I meant the sad part, but even as I was messaging you guys, I'm like, "Oh, I really got to do a werewolf video."
No, literally. Anyway, we obviously didn't talk about news last week because Tom King was on the show.
We were
It was pretty cool.
interrupted.
It came out.
Yeah.
We were interrupted.
So we have some stuff from last week that we're going to talk about now, starting with Spider-Man Brand New Day. How does that feel? Spider-Man
I
4.
forgot
Feels like
about that.
that feels like it was months ago. That this
I know.
was-
Yeah.
So last week, CinemaCon, Destin Daniel Critton comes out. He's the guy that directed Shang-Chi. He says, Tom Holland FaceTimes in from the set of, what are they making? The Odyssey. And he's like, "Oh, so we're making a bloody Christopher Nolan movie and I can't show up.
It's a
But
great
I got a
impression.
good thing for you here. It's Spider-Man Brand New Day. And it's me. I'm Spider-Man." And we all went,
Oh, so
cool.
he's going to be playing
Yeah.
Spider-Man.
I did. Exactly.
Oh,
That was
no.
like, I was shocked. But anyway,
That's cool.
Brand New Day obviously has a lot of weight. It's a very weighty name for a Spider-Man story, but I think it seems like a perfect title for what this seems like it's going to be, right? Like it feels like a
Yeah.
good title for especially
Yeah,
the way that No Way Home ended.
I'm not disappointed by it whatsoever.
Yeah, no.
So
Do you think the day is going to become like the new thing?
Yeah,
I hope
yeah,
not.
100%.
I hope not.
No,
I hope
100%,
we get a
100%.
Spider-Man movie called Die Another Day. Just
Oh
another.
my god, that
Yeah.
that
That's a
would
good
be
name,
cool,
actually.
Yeah.
Well, there's a Bond movie, so but just call it that.
Did
Why
you
not?
Did he really? Come on.
No, I did. I did.
Come
I
on.
did. I did. I did.
But I think like okay,
I
so
just don't feel so constricted to the one word thing. Like the Homecoming's fine and everything like that, but just be more. I need a King in Black Spider. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, exactly.
I think I told you guys this, but there was a point like many years ago. I think it was like Far From Home was announced, and I was like sitting on a couch talking with some guys, and I was like, "What? The name for the new one is ridiculous." And they're like, "Oh yeah, what is it?" And I'm like, it's Home Sweet Home, isn't it?" And then I continued like for the next 30 minutes thinking genuinely that that was the title. And like didn't blink on, oh,
Home
that's the
Sweet
most
Home.
that's the most ridiculous name
Actually, the
ever.
opposite of what the title is too.
Yeah, Far From Home. Yeah, I know.
Spider-Man
But,
Home
like,
Alone, wasn't that like one of like the prospective
When
names?
when they
It
were
felt-
announcing
yeah.
No Way Home, they were like
They
they put
did
out a
fake
bunch of different
titles.
ones. There was like Phone Home, Home Wrecked.
Home Slice.
Yeah, Home
Yeah,
Slice.
it really feels like they were struggling after the first one with what to call them. They went far from
Because
home.
Homecoming
and-
is even Homecoming is a bit like too meta for the title, right? It's like
yeah.
it's like a Homecoming to Marvel, obviously, and then obviously there's a literal Homecoming dance in it, but it still doesn't feel like it really has to do with that movie. Like Far From Home's literal as well. It's too literal for a
but
title.
it is the worst one, I think. Far
No
From
Way
Home.
Home is
So bad.
No Way
Oh,
Home
I think
could.
Far From Home's a way worse title than Homecoming.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Far From Home's the
I
worst
thought you
one.
said Homecoming was worse.
No,
No,
no, I
No
like
Way Home
Homecoming.
is a bit. It could mean anything really. Like who's
Yeah.
got like the villains have No Way Home, I guess, but Peter's now got No Way Home because he can't. Because May's dead, and like I
guess
guess
the title works. You
Yeah,
just
like,
explained to
it's-
yourself, oh, wait, it does work.
no, I know, but it's just it means a lot of things. It's not so specific. I
Because
guess
what else
Brand
would they
New
would have
Day.
called it?
Yeah, but Brand New Day is an interesting one.
Spider-Man Last Dance.
Oh, Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, Let There Be Carnage.
Let There Be Carnage. I was literally thinking.
Actually, that's a hard as fuck title. God.
is it?
Spider-Man Let There Be Carnage. Yeah. Let There Be Carnage, underrated subtitle.
Brother?
Spider-Man Let There Be Venom.
I
Yeah,
wish.
no, that goes hard too.
But do you think okay, so obviously Brand New Day is the point in Spider-Man comics where they went and they became dog shit, right? That's the one after one it's the status quo of Spider-Man following One More Day, which is to
It's the
say
worst one.
that
yeah.
it is the status quo of Spider-Man that he is still stuck in today. And I wonder if this means that this is a street level movie and not a multiverse movie. It doesn't sound like
I
it
hope
would
so.
be a multiverse movie. Brand New Day, unless I guess it could be if they wake up in Battle World. That sounds pretty brand new to me. But I still have hope that this is going to be boots on the ground, street level Spider-Man that was promised at the end of No Way Home.
Because yeah, it's between the two Avengers movies, but they could always say this takes place before Doomsday too. So
Yeah, and I think
Doomsday
like
2? I didn't know that was another one. That's crazy.
but
I like that you casually confirmed that. Yeah. Yeah, that's,
yeah, no,
yeah.
Doomsday 2.
They're bringing
Avengers
Doom-
Doomsday
they're bringing-
2.
The Marine Doomsday from DC. And
Oh,
Smart
shit.
Doomsday.
Smart
But he
Doomsday.
Fuck
but it's
yeah, dude.
I think because I think Spider-Man, I want this movie to be that. Dustin Daniel Cretton is a really good director. Obviously, Shang-Chi was really good. He made
The
this movie
portal
called
opens up.
Oh
Smart
no.
Doomsday's there.
Yeah, it's the Time
Smart
Trapper.
Smart Doomsday's first line is, look, I wear t-shirts now.
I'm wearing shirts now.
Unbelievable.
Dab.
Because that diner scene is the exact same, but it's Doomsday.
Yeah.
Instead of
I am
Hulk.
so confused. These are confusing times.
It's a confusing time.
He's talking to like the Avengers.
Yeah, for no reason.
Characters
Oh
have
my
never
God.
interacted with him ever.
We're gonna
They
need a
don't
really
even know
big
his
brain,
regular
bigger than
phone.
his,
These are
and it's just
confusing
fucking
times.
Doomsday. Yeah, but I think, like, I want for this movie to be that obviously street level stuff. I do have hope for this. I think that he's a really good director. Shang-Chi is obviously really good. He made a really good movie. This dude's crying. Harper's crying of laughter right now.
God,
Took what,
again.
7 minutes into this episode?
Oh my God, dude.
Just Doomsday in a diner.
Yeah, and nobody's mentioning it. He's just a big spiky rock monster.
Kids will
And-
ask for a picture.
Yeah.
Listen to your mom.
Oh my God.
But yeah, I think it's gonna be good. I hope it's good. The way he described Peter Parker, he said all the key proper things where he's like, this character, I love this character so much because he has such a messy
Character
humanity.
sucks.
Yeah, I hate him and I want to destroy him, and I loved Brand New Day in the comics, so we're gonna do that too.
We still don't know, like, we got the title, but we still don't really
Plot
know
details.
anything about this movie. We don't even have a
Yeah.
villain yet.
Allegedly they're casting. It seems like, if leakers are to be believed, which maybe they are, that they could be casting Mr. Negative.
I
I
did
saw
hear
that,
about
yeah.
that.
Which is
That would be
cool. I just don't know if they should do Mr. Negative because I think that character is so good in those games that you're not going to be better than that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go, Harper, Mr. Harper.
This is a genuine suggestion, and I know that they can't do it because Sony have now fucked it
Yeah,
up.
the Time
but
Trapper. Yeah, we know. Smart Doomsday.
No. I genuinely, as someone who doesn't like this character, think it should be Craven. But like Marvel Studios
Why don't you like
doing
Craven?
it cool. I don't know, just because I'm craving these nuts.
We know that
Got
from
him.
earlier. Yeah.
Fucking got
It
him.
should be
so good.
Craven. It should be
Dude, that
Craven,
was-
but I don't
No,
think
Craven.
it
If
will
Craven
be.
was going to have a
Craven
movie,
what? Hunter? Craven what? Craving these nuts, boy.
Nice.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Moving on.
if Craven
but
was
seriously, like,
going to have a
the
movie,
thi-
I think it would have been No Way Home, where his identity is revealed. And
True,
there's
but the
Hunter.
thing is, like, Sony doing
Hunter.
Craven and Venom and these characters, they've effectively ruined Marvel Studios from using some of the cool characters. Like, why
Well,
we can't?
yeah,
We're not
I
going to
mean,
get Venom now
like
because we're not going to
we
do.
got Tom Hardy recently said that
Woo,
there was
sorry.
they got really close to making Spider-Man versus Venom, but there was an issue, and I'm just like, what issue?
Yeah,
It's
And I also
Spider-Man and
don't think
Venom,
they
like,
got that close.
yeah, like what could have been stopping them from making that movie? That movie would have made $1 billion easy, right? Spider-Man versus Venom. Craven would be cool. I don't know. I want someone. I hope that what they do is like I want a whole new cast, right? I understand, like, you'll probably still have
Recast
Zendaya in there.
Spider-Man.
Well, that's why it was so shocking that he's coming back as Spider-Man in that video. But I think that they ought to do a whole new cast, right? So if you want to introduce
100%.
Harry Osborn's and Gwen Stacy's and whatnot,
Mhm.
Zendaya probably will still be in it as MJ, but I
Make her
want
with
like
2 minutes of screen time.
I
I think you could fuck Ned off. I think you could Born Again it. You know what I mean? Have him be like at the start or
Literally
like,
Born
like
Again it,
some
though?
fa- Well, yeah. Honestly, you could shoot Ned. I'm not going to fucking care.
Oh, come on.
Not
He's
nice.
what-
He's the
Whatever.
CEO.
He's the
Yeah,
CEO.
that's true,
of
that's
sex,
true.
isn't he?
I
That's
think
just the
that-
worst
that is
wig
what I want
ever.
though. Like I
It-
want the wig. Oh, he
His
does wear a
head.
wig. I was just thinking of him bald because he is bald, but
But
he
he's
does have a-
bald.
Yeah, I just thought of Ned as bald. Did I ever tell you my theory about Jacob Batalon? I don't
Okay.
think he's a real guy. I think he's all CGI. Always. I don't think he exists. He's got such perfect soft skin, and like he looks like a CG character. I don't think
No,
he's
I'm
real.
backing this.
I've
think
never
this is
seen-
real.
You know what?
Like I've seen him in interviews and stuff, but I'm not convinced that he's like a real. 3D
What about the
person.
one where he was in the pool and he shot that one like backwards and they all like were cheering?
Oh, yeah.
This? You can't
I-
fake that with CGI.
Yes, you could.
No
Easy.
way.
Yeah.
Stunt double.
Deep
Stunt
fake.
double. And then like
Deep
he had like
fake.
the dots on his face, and then they
Yeah.
Oh way.
Yeah.
That's
Home.
so
Yeah.
My new thumbnail is a picture of him and it says, "Is he real?"
Oh, that's a good one.
Yes.
Who
But
wants
I
to
think
be? Who wants to be him in the
Hunter.
thumbnail?
Yeah, Hunter does.
Hunter.
Tyler with a bald filter.
Fuck
Oh.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
I think
You're about to
but,
take off your hair.
yeah. Yeah. I've been filter.
We all do it. We're all wearing wigs.
I hope I do.
Oh,
I
Why
want.
do you wear wigs?
I really want. I think Black Cat would be really good in this movie. I think that's a character they haven't done yet.
They said black cow.
Yeah, a black cow, dude. What the fuck is going on right now?
Okay, we
to
got
be fair,
focus. We got
to be
focus.
fair,
Alicia Hardy,
that sounds like a Spider-Man villain.
black cow.
Black
Sounds more
cow.
like a Batman villain to me.
Name
You're
You're not
any-
going to get away with this, black cow. Insane.
You know what? They should
I'm not
just
lactose intolerant anymore.
Just
Do you
do
want me to do the moo
Scorpion.
again?
Yes, yes.
Scorpion?
Brr.
Oh, I literally
Yeah,
thought
he
from Mortal
was-
Kombat, brother. You mean Scorpion from
Oh my god.
Nacho from Better Call Saul? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, yeah. Obviously, yes.
I mean, he was teased coming up on 10 years now. Pretty close.
Yeah, no, that is crazy. Actually,
Oh, I didn't think this through at all. I googled Spider-Man cow and I just got a bunch of cows dressed as Spider-Man.
does that Reddit
Like-
comment say first time seeing a cow dressed as spider? Obviously, like nice. You know, I
all
love
we
it.
know about this Scorpion is that he was going to team up with Vulture, and now Vulture's just gone.
Vulture's in the Morbius
Morbius.
universe. Yeah,
Michael Mando,
He's-
dude. Michael Mando. Love Nacho.
he would be
But,
a very good like in the movie. They just did Scorpion. Obviously, this is not going to stop them from doing it in a movie, but they just did Scorpion in the cartoon, Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man.
Yes, they
I
did.
think
Yes,
that
they
was
did.
in the vein of what the live action one would be, right? They're obviously based on the same character version of that character. And I liked Ultimate Scorpion a lot because he's like a gang leader and he's got like a chain that has a scorpion tail on the end of it. I think that's really cool. I think that's how you
That is
make him
cool, yeah.
realistic. You could do the J. Jonah Jameson version where he puts him in he pays for this dude to get a big scorpion suit attached to him and then kill Spider-Man. But I feel like we're probably done with Jonah in the MCU already. So
No, I don't think. I think Jonah will be in
think
the.
so.
I think Jonah will
no,
be
I
in
think
this
he's-
new movie.
really,
Yeah, not for like a major role or
Shall
anything,
we
but I
bet?
can't.
I
Man, why you giving me gambling, man? 'Cause they will, because I will.
oh, you guys gonna
Double down.
$5 American, which is like your rent in Canadian.
$40. Yeah.
yeah, that's pretty yeah.
Says
I-
J. Jonah Jameson will not be in the next
We'll
Spider-Man.
yeah, we'll find out next July.
Yeah. Okay. Done.
God, you fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Witness?
All right, yeah, we witnessed.
everyone
I
listening.
saw it.
Yeah.
Somewhere in my
I wasn't
parents
really
right now
paying
is-
attention, but
it's a
I
Seinfeld
saw it.
reference. Anyway,
Anyway, moving on, I guess. Spider-Man Brand New Day. Comics are terrible, but this would not be the first time they took a bad Spider-Man story from that era and made it into a good movie.
Mhm.
Hopefully. It's interesting actually that One More Day is kind of No Way Home and then Brand New Day is the next movie. I guess that is interesting. We got a Superman sneak peek in front of the Minecraft movie.
Oh man. Oh man.
Um,
Weird.
start growing popcorn and slushies and yell chicken jockey.
Chicken jockey. Yeah.
Okay, I just want to say real quick,
Steve.
as awesome as this clip was, I find it a strange marketing strategy.
Why?
Why are they releasing a teaser trailer, then 5 minutes, a full 5 minute scene, and we still don't have trailer one?
Yeah, no,
Probably
I
'cause
agree.
It's going to come out.
It's
next
so
week or something, right?
strange.
When's
Apparently,
the
it's
18th?
next week. Yeah,
Yeah, Superman
a week
Day.
from
It's
today.
Friday.
It feels like a clip that would come out
Or-
like the
yeah.
week before, and you'd have
I
to
think
be
it's
like,
just
I'm not watching that.
because it's just because of
Yeah.
Minecraft. Like it's just because they need Superman to do well, and Minecraft did extremely well. So everyone that saw that movie saw the Superman teaser,
So
and now
you
maybe
should
is
have
interested.
just did a trailer then, because now in the movie I'm gonna get to that scene and be like, okay, I've already seen this
Who
for
cares?
5 minutes.
Bro. But really though,
I
like,
just
but how many clips have you seen before from other movies?
usually when they release clips, I avoid those clips.
Yeah, no,
I'll
I
watch the
remember when they've done
trailers.
it for movies where it's like the first 9 minutes.
Well, yeah, no, I
Watch
would-
it, and then you
Because
go
Yeah,
ever,
and you're like,
ever
remember-
since
Remember how much
Apparently-
BBS shit came out before?
Yeah,
the
apparently
movie?
this-
They had like
Yeah.
CW like an entire fucking 5 minutes.
Apparently, this is the beginning
Yeah.
of the movie, or around
Oh.
it in the beginning of the movie.
then we'll cut back. kind of thing.
Yeah, I guess maybe, but I think it was a smart idea because like I went to the movies yesterday and I saw Minecraft and it was not completely
Chicken
empty.
Amazing.
jockey.
There
Yeah,
was enough
dude.
people in there, and when the Superman thing came up, there was a group of it was like three kids. They're probably like 7 or 8, and then their mom was sitting to the right of them, and then the Superman thing starts, and before you see Superman, it's all icy and whatnot. The DC logo pops up, and then these kids all go, "Oh, this is Superman! Oh my god! Like this looks so cool! It's Superman!" Like they knew it was Superman before Superman even popped up, and I'm like, okay, this movie's building. I think it was a smart idea because people like I think saw Minecraft obviously, and
Yeah, of
and
course.
are the dog. It's the dog, man. It's just the fucking dog. People are gonna want to see that dog.
Crypto.
When those kids were talking about Superman, Tyler felt like The Rock when he was watching Black Adam with like the hat on.
Literally, yeah. What did you think of that ending?
They're all like, "Who the fuck are you?"
Yeah, I'm not even related to
Yeah.
the DC movie. I'm just a big fan. I thought it was fun. I liked it, and apparently, well, we shouldn't talk about this, but there's a character that's apparently we know who casts Jor-El. I don't want to say it in case it is true and it's a spoiler, but we can kind of
Tell
hear
me
his voice.
something, girl.
It's Lady Gaga.
You can kind of hear his voice
Lady
in the
Gaga!
background of
The
the fortress, which is cool.
Good movie.
Why is Superman
Is that-
getting hurt by the sun?
Is
though?
that his
doesn't
voice?
make any sense.
I do like that little detail of like every time it seems like the fortress opens, like maybe this is Jor-El's last message starts to play, but it's in like Kryptonian, so
Yeah.
you don't
I
really
like.
understand the word Kal-El. Like,
Yeah,
that's it.
I kind of miss. I thought he would do the idea that the key to the Fortress of Solitude is like 250 million pounds. And he's the
I was
only one that can
expecting
lift
that.
it. Yeah, but
I
I
was
just like.
expecting
I
that for
also do
sure.
love that Crypto can just open it with a bark. I really do enjoy
Yeah.
that. Like that. That makes me
That's
happy.
nice,
I
too. It's like-
love how it rises out of the ice. Like it just looks cool. I
It
think
does
just
look cool. It's
it's-
like
it's-
a
you go.
I was gonna say it's like a. You go. I can't
Wow,
think
you got
of
the
the
floor
word.
for that. You got the floor for that, Hunter. Wow,
304
what a great
episodes.
message. I really thought about that.
Hold
one.
on. What's it
Yeah,
called?
no, it's really
What's
like
it called?
that. It's really like that.
It is really like
What's it
that.
called? What's it called?
Have you read it?
Where you look at the stars, you know the
A
telescope.
telescope.
No. What's that place called?
Oh,
No.
an observatory.
Observatory. That's it. It
All
reminds me of the
Sure.
observatory.
That's
I used to
Sure.
work in a.
Oh,
I used to.
brother, this guy stinks.
guy stinks.
I used
Is
to
it-
work in an observatory, and I forgot the name.
All right.
How about you observe these nuts, Hunter? Okay,
Oh,
continuing
two of them,
on
yeah.
Nice.
this
Is he
one.
craving them too?
Nice. I think it's interesting that
soaking
this
them.
is the first time Superman's gonna be 90 very soon, and this is gonna be the first time that we've
God, he
gotten
looks
like
good.
robots in this Fortress of Solitude,
90 years old?
like a
He looked
science
great.
fiction Fortress of Solitude. You know, I think it looks really cool.
Solo reference.
Tilly's 90. Tilly's 90.
I went
right.
for the way more obscure
I
reference. I
just-
went for a solo Star Wars story reference, and you went for Deadpool and Wolverine.
Like I am saying that I really
He looked at me.
like this clip. I think the movie looks incredible. It made me more excited for this movie. Of course, so it worked. I just think the marketing is a little odd, and I
Yeah,
still find it strange
but
that we don't
it-
have that trailer.
It
one
looks
yet.
like if they released that video of James Gunn and Jim Lee talking the other day where they're like, we actually saw Superman in the same theater at the same time randomly when we were kids, right? Which is actually kind of fucking interesting. Like that's weird. Like they both lived in the same place and saw the movie in the same movie theater at the same time it premiered. That's really odd. But
It is, yeah.
and when it ends, it says, Superman July 11th, but then it says prepare for Superman Day, April 18th. So it seems like there's a real big
Oh, yeah.
marketing push that's going to start. I think that's when the full marketing of this movie is going to begin, and we're going to
Yeah.
see it fucking everywhere. There's going to be Superman
it'll be
billboards
all you see.
everywhere. Yeah,
Which will be good because right now we are seeing it a lot, but it's like those like PNG cutouts of Superman for like lunch boxes and like
Yeah,
Walmart
yeah.
t-shirts, and it just
Yeah.
looks so cheap. Right now.
it looks corny.
So-
Yeah, I love it. I
So
think
we will get to the good stuff.
Yeah, I think that this movie, I do think that there is genuine hype around it, though. I don't think
Yes,
it's
I do agree.
like people
I
I think are excited. I think normies are excited about this movie, right?
agree.
JD,
Like
does your
her-
microphone
JD.
have a huge fucking dint in it?
It does, dude. I opened
I
up
just
the box
noticed
one
that.
day.
Look at it.
I opened up my
Oh,
box one day and I was like, "What the fuck? Why is there a dent?"
Look at it, dude.
I
Can you
dropped
tilt it
mic,
on the
I didn't
side?
touch the mic. All of a sudden, I came back and there was a dent. I think someone broke into my apartment, couldn't find anything of value, dented my mic out of frustration, and left.
What if they
And they're
don't
like,
like?
"Fuck a
What if they
hero
are
story
a
then,
listener
brother."
and they just don't like you?
They saw the
Yeah.
Hero Story sticker and they were like, "I
Oh, that
fucking hate
fucking
that
shitty
show.
podcast.
That Australian guy with his made up accent sucks." No
If
one.
you pay for postage, JD, you can have my microphone. It's
I,
probably
I
a
don't.
terrifying
Mike audio
as
just
well,
completely cut out once I picked up the mic. I don't even know what you're saying right now.
Okay.
Oh, it switched to headphones.
Oh,
All right.
excellent.
You
I've
could
still
have
got
been
my
more
old
clear.
microphone with the Hero Story sticker on it.
Yeah, I should probably buy a new microphone. I've actually thought about it. After last week, I was thinking about.
I
buying
mean,
one.
this is your headphone audio quality.
Yeah.
It's like 10 times better.
This is the mic. It wasn't playing out of the headphones.
Oh,
before,
it
but now
sounds
is.
different though. It does sound different.
Uh,
Oh,
Yeah, you sound way
Oh.
sexier.
are you sure that you weren't recording through your headphones and then you just turned on your mic?
You were a little poor quality, but now you're clear. Okay,
Hear
no
that?
one knows what you
Yeah,
said there.
no. Nope.
I figure we should
chicken
just,
jockey.
there's not
Yeah,
much to
there we
say
go,
about
there we
this,
go.
and I think it's kind of hilarious. But there was a super blurry picture of Supergirl today, like 2 pixels of it. I mean, from what you can see, which is nothing, she's got blonde hair and a red cape and a red skirt and a blue suit. Supergirl, yay!
Wow.
And it looks
Wow,
like
that's
maybe Lobo's
wow.
next to her, which
Next
is
you're gonna
also
say
kind of
Spider-Man has
interesting.
a red and blue suit.
Yeah. Well, who would have thought? All right, this one's weird, but Vincent D'Onofrio was on an interview this week, and he said that Kingpin, for some reason, cannot appear in MCU movies. He said that there's a rights issue surrounding that character.
Makes no sense.
So what I
I did a
think,
little digging into this.
so it's so Kingpin debuts in Amazing Spider-Man 50, right? So he's
Yeah.
technically a Spider-Man
That's true.
character,
Yeah.
even though he's in the Ben Affleck Daredevil movie. Obviously, that version of Kingpin's also in a Spider-Man cartoon, right? So there's a Spider-Man link there. He becomes a Daredevil villain, when Frank Miller takes over, but
Yeah.
I think for a lot of people introduced to the Kingpin, he may have just been a Spider-Man villain. Like when I first met the Kingpin, it would have been the animated series in the 90s, and he's a Spider-Man villain
Same here.
through and
same
through
here.
there. So I
Yeah.
think that is what the rights issue is. He's also obviously in Into the Spider-Verse. So
Yeah.
I guess it's a Sony thing.
It
Thank
is a Sony thing. Yeah.
fuck that Marvel are using him in a Daredevil project and Sony aren't doing a solo
Kingpin movie?
or something.
But
You know
I
what I
don't-
mean?
But I'm
Thank
confused on
God.
how these rights work because there was a quote from Feige, which is like really old, like 10 years ago, where he says that this would have been actually before the Netflix shows, but he said like that Kingpin is a character that they either half own or they share, which again, I guess they share it with Sony, but I'm confused then on how they even got him in the Netflix show because that was pre the Sony Spider-Man merger. Like, why did they own Kingpin at all? Right? I guess because Fox would have owned Kingpin because Fox owned the Daredevil movie licenses. I'm confused on how that works. And I'm confused on how Sony has any of that if Marvel has it and then Fox had it. And it doesn't really make any sense. I also think it probably doesn't matter because I think if they wanted Kingpin in a movie, they would
Yeah.
they would just fucking do it.
That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say I feel like they could still use Kingpin in a movie. I feel like what him saying this though confirms that he's not gonna be in Spider-Man 4 or Brand New Day, which is
Or
fine. But
Thunderbolts.
I do.
Or Thunderbolts, yeah.
Oh yeah, dang.
Yeah, but
It would
I
be
don't.
cool to see him. Yeah.
I just
They're a
don't.
fucking vigilante
Would
task
there also
force
be problems
in
with
New
Punisher?
York.
Because Punisher first appeared in a Spider-Man comic. He was
Yeah,
amazing.
Oh,
no,
that's a good
exactly. I
point.
don't
That's a
understand
good
any of it.
point,
I mean,
yeah.
like
Would they not own
Wanda
him?
and Scarlet Witch, they appear in a Wanda and Scarlet Witch. Wanda and Quicksilver appear in X-Men at first, and they're technically Avengers characters too. Like
Yeah.
the whole rights thing doesn't make a lick of sense at all.
Yeah,
I feel-
that's right. Because they were allowed to be in the MCU, but they weren't allowed to be mutants.
Yeah,
the
even
first-
T'Challa. T'Challa's a Fantastic Four
Yeah, I was about
character.
to mention
Yeah.
that. Yeah,
Mhm.
Black
Yeah,
Panther
that's
would be a
weird.
Fantastic Four character then. So is he a Fox character? in
What
that
if
case?
MCU owned the rights to all their characters from the beginning? Like, how different would the MCU look?
We would have never gotten an Avengers movie. You
don't think
It
so?
would have been straight Spider-Man and the X-Men.
X-Men, yeah.
Yeah,
Probably.
would have been fine, I guess. But
We would have been if it would have started with like Spider-Man and the X-Men, and right now today we would have been seeing Captain America for the first time.
No
Iron Man,
way.
something
I mean,
like
if you
that.
did, I saw a video recommended to me on YouTube that was what if they had the reverse rights that they have? Like if they owned the X-Men and the Fantastic Four and Spider-Man, but they didn't own the Avengers. and that's an interesting, I guess, thought
Yeah.
experiment. But I just don't think that they're in a position now where if they want a character, they won't like pay for that character. They own everyone. Like they still put Hulk in movies, even though that whole rights
Right,
debacle is
Universal.
fucking crazy. I mean, they
It's
just
just
had Red
Spider-Man
Hulk.
stuff that they're struggling with.
Yeah, they just had Red Hulk as the villain in a Captain America movie.
When there's an
So
early moon.
yeah, and I just like the Kingpin thing just doesn't make sense to me, guys. I don't understand how they could have gotten him in the Netflix show in the first place if there's a rights issue.
Yeah.
You know what? Fuck it. I'm glad Daredevil got him and not Spider-Man. Spider-Man sucks.
Yeah,
Fuck him.
I am.
I
Happy
am
that
glad that
Daredevil got him.
he's
Wasn't
he's more
there
of
a video
Daredevil
like
film.
what 8 months ago when Harper had like his Spider-Man rebirth where he was like, "I see the light." Like I
That
get
was
it now.
definitely more than 8
Was that
months
like
ago.
2 or 3 years?
Wasn't he like
ago?
Danny DeVito, just like with the tears in his eyes? Like, I get it.
It was right before No Way Home came out.
Look, I agree
Maybe it was
with
after
that, and I still
Spider-Verse.
I maintain.
Yeah, that was 8
my
months ago, right?
opinions.
Ooh,
I-
brother.
Oh,
Chicken jockey.
All right, what's next?
Well, going on Vincent D'Onofrio, I just want to mention real quick. He also was asked if he were to be cast in the DC universe, who would you want to play? He said Swamp Thing.
Chicken jockey. Yeah. Swamp Thing.
Swamp Thing, Alec Holland.
Yeah, that's a
Okay.
weird pick. I
Yeah,
don't
like
see it.
you want to
but
be
get,
because he's big and bald.
like Swamp Thing in the suit.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I also
he
think
wants to be
Swamp Thing
covered in
probably isn't.
makeup.
I don't think of Swamp Thing pre-Swamp Thing as 60 years old. But look, I didn't think of Hal Jordan as that either, I guess, right? So it doesn't really matter.
It's just, Swamp Thing seems like the character that when a Hollywood actor gets casted in a superhero project, that's the character that they don't want.
Yeah, you don't want to play Swamp Thing. I don't think Swamp Thing's gonna have
Go
a
sit
big
in this
role.
chair for 9 hours
I
before
feel
we
like
shoot
they
and
had the
stand in
sauce.
water.
I feel
That-
like they had
I'd
the
like-
sauce.
It looks
that's
good.
cool.
I
That
really
was
like
so
that
good.
show, man.
I mean, I'd be shocked if the Swamp Thing movie happens. Obviously, I think it sounds cool, but I don't think it's going to be Vincent D'Onofrio as Swamp Thing.
no.
I don't think that's going to happen.
I looked
This
up other.
mangrove.
I
These
looked up other.
reeds.
I looked up other characters who first appeared in Amazing Spider-Man. Monica Rambeau did,
Holy
which
shit.
has been in the MCU, right? She's been in the
That's-
MCU.
Jesus
Amazing
Christ, okay, I
Spider-Man
didn't know
annual
that.
number 16. And Cloak and Dagger, that's technically MCU too, correct?
Oh yes, they had a TV show.
So,
yeah,
so
there's a TV show.
also appeared in Amazing Spider-Man.
Runaways are also have a TV show. Oh, that's interesting.
So that's
Wow.
interesting. Like I don't know how that works. I'd love
Yeah,
to see like a breakdown of that.
Punisher, especially, I think is really interesting because Punisher.
Hmm.
I guess it's when they branch off. Like I wouldn't think that if you had licensing around these characters, that it would matter if they branched out beyond their first appearance. I would
Well, like
assume,
Black Panther, yeah.
yeah, I would
It's-
assume that
it's-
the licensing would be stuck in how that character first appeared, right? Like, so characters would forever be Spider-Man characters or forever be whatever,
Right.
But I guess it
seems like
doesn't
it's
work
the
that way.
opposite.
It's like you can
only
argue
if they
it.
appear in Spider-Man.
But that's so like you can argue the license. Like you could be like, actually, I mean, you might say that Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch are like X-Men characters, but I read them in Avengers, so I think they're, and that works, I guess. Like, sure. I just wouldn't think that they would leave loopholes like that. Those lawyer pricks. But anyway, this is really interesting. I think it's kind of fun. Definitely not going to read it though. But there's a new Werewolf by Night comic coming out, written by Michael Giacchino, which is really cool. He said he wrote it in between scoring Fantastic Four, which is
Oh,
Michael
I
Giacchino, who
just
directed Werewolf by Night, who did the score for the
Yeah.
Batman and for Fantastic Four
that's
and the MCU
cool.
Spider-Man movies and Doctor Strange. All these
The
good
goat.
stuff. The GOAT, the
The
actual GOAT.
director
yeah.
of the best werewolf movie of all time.
Really? You really believe that?
Yeah. Yes, I do believe that.
Wow.
What is that?
It
It's
is
I don't
either
know.
that
I
or it's
wouldn't.
Dog
I would
Soldiers.
think that you, as a werewolf enthusiast, would not say that was the best.
Annabelle 3.
How about you fuck off, Hunter? How about that?
You-
Fuck you.
You haven't seen it?
Sorry.
JD's seen it, I think, right?
I saw the first two Annabelles. I didn't even know there was a third one.
Annabelle Comes Home.
She
I don't
blocks.
remember it.
I finally watched Directed by Night,
That's
and
the
I
the,
expect
the behind the scenes like documentary.
yeah, except it's not. I expected
I have
it to
watched that
be-
one too.
I expected it to be Werewolf by Night behind the scenes, but no, it's just like Michael Giacchino and his brother and like them growing up and like the old movies
Making
they made
movies
in the
on
80s.
Super
And
8
it is
films,
so cool, but I was just
Yeah.
like, where's the werewolf?
I think I really like Michael Giacchino, obviously, like
He's the
just
best.
beyond I like when they said he was directing this movie, even if it's like an hour-long movie, it's not going to theaters or whatever, like I was still like, that's really interesting. Like this dude makes I think he is the best composer making music for movies right now. Like I don't even
Yes.
know
No,
if
he
there's
is.
a competition. Like Hans Zimmer's
No.
great, Ludwig
No.
Göransson is amazing, but like Michael Giacchino, like just the Batman theme, just the Batman
Dude, it is
score
it is
down the entire
it's
thing.
Michael Giacchino and it's John Williams, and that's the Mount Rushmore in my mind. Genuinely, it's those
You
two.
wouldn't
Like,
put Hans Zimmer up there?
I like him,
I mean,
I,
like
I
Interstellar and
but he didn't do Doctor
Inception and
fucking Strange, did he? So
Lion
he
King.
didn't do Rogue One. So like, what do
Man
I
of
give a
Steel.
That's
fuck?
true. Giacchino is the
Oh,
only
Man of
person
Steel.
besides Man of Steel
Hey,
has a good
that
score.
theme
It
goes
does go
fucking
hard.
hard. Say
I
what you will
mean,
about the movie. The theme
even
fucking
Goes
Batman
hard
v
for a
Superman
I'm
fucking
goes
hard.
hard.
Team.
But I think
You fucking
Giacchino,
movie.
like he, I have not listened to a score where I felt like he half-assed it, and it's crazy because he
Mm,
does like 3 or 4 or 5 a year. So I
mm.
don't know how he can manage that. Like this Fantastic Four theme, the movie's not even out, obviously, but their marketing is all around this theme, and I think it's a real. I think it sounds like if you melted down, you know, this comic right here, and you somehow made it into music. I think that's what that sounds like. It just sounds
That's
like
what he did.
Kirby's
What he
Fantastic
did.
Four. That's literally what he did too. Wait for that Fantastic Four behind the scenes thing. You'll see. But yeah, I think he's amazing, and he's writing a comic book. He's writing a comic book.
That's so cool.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, that's all I have written down for news. But there is other stuff, Harper.
Oh, Hunter, you read the same message, so I guess whoever
Mhm.
gets to it first. But we had
I'm not even gonna get to it.
okay, well, we had someone write in. I'm not gonna say their name, but they said, "Hey, when you guys do the news this week, you should talk about how Spawn has increased from 2.99 to 3.99 after being 2.99 for the past 15 years. I know that none of you read Spawn, and I don't even read it, but I think it's huge because of how other changes could come in the industry. Um, yeah,
I
blah
didn't
blah
even
blah
know
blah.
Spawn was two
Something
ninety nine.
about
What a fucking
tariffs.
bargain! Even three
Yeah,
ninety nine at this point's a bargain. The fuck?
so
I
Spawn,
think
That's a good point. Yeah, that's
McFarlane.
a good point.
So McFarlane said something along the lines of that Spawn he wants it to be accessible. It's always got to be
Mm,
accessible. I think that McFarlane, as much as he's like a money grubbing guy, because you have to be if you're making $1 billion like he is, right? Um, that he does want people to actually like the things that he makes, right? That's why his action figures are $20 and Hasbro's are 25.
Mhm.
He wants people to actually be able to buy these things. But the increase in Spawn is obviously after the past week where tariff nonsense, whatever. But
mm.
it kind of speaks to a larger thing where comic books and other geek, I guess, adjacent hobbies very potentially could be like a lot of people are going to be outpriced by these
Yeah.
things pretty soon. And it is obviously
Yeah.
very unfortunate. Like I think comic books are already so inaccessible, being $4, $5 an issue.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think if it gets down to it and they have to like, there's so many things that go into printing a physical comic book beyond just paying a guy to draw it and paying a guy to write it. But like, they have to print it. First of all, they need ink for these printers. They need to staple them. They need to, fill in all this shit. And I think once those things become more expensive, most of our American comics are printed in Canada, by the way. So if we get more tariffs on Canada, these things will go up. And I think that it's going to make a lot of these things very, very inaccessible for not just people that already weren't going to like read them or do anything about them, but for fans that do. Like you just have to, like, if you're reading comic books today, it is like, oh, you have to deal with the price. But when it gets to a point where you're not going to even think about dealing with it anymore, it's going to get ugly. It's going to get very
But
ugly.
like, I really I think more people might do, and I know a lot of people do already, but probably do the thing that I kind of do with everything, whether it's movies, whether it's games, or even comics. Like, comics I probably keep up on more, maybe TV shows as well. But like, I don't really have like FOMO. I don't care about playing like a game the minute it comes out or seeing a movie that I'm like Minecraft. Like, I would be seeing it for the meme, but I don't really care. So I'll watch it, maybe in a year's time. I don't really care. Same with comics. Like sometimes I just wait 4 months and then catch up on like Marvel Unlimited, and
Well,
then
and
I
that's
catch up
that's
to a point, and then I
exactly
leave.
what I was gonna say. At the price that Marvel Unlimited and DC Universe Infinite are
They're
at this
steals,
point,
yeah.
where you pay, I mean, I think I paid because I paid the annual one less than $10 a month for both. Like,
Mm.
that's the equivalent of what, three
You
physical
have
comics, maybe less.
you have
It's
DC for
also
So,
free
like,
still, right?
huh?
You still have DC for free, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Crazy.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I
Gaining
thought about it, by
DC.
the way. I tried to trace where my DC is getting charged, and I also cannot find where it's being charged to. So I also have it for free, I
That's
guess.
awesome.
The DC
W's in the
just
chat, boys.
recently upgraded their they upgraded one of their tiers. I think it's $11.99 a month, which is, I guess kind of steep, but it means that your comics you get comics from the month previous. So it's everything up to last month.
That's the
which
one
is,
that
I think
that's the one that I have.
that's
unbelievable.
crazy. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, so literally 1 month after it comes out, so that's why I'm like, do I really feel like, other than Flash, I don't
No.
really buy many DC books because it's like, do I need
Why?
to?
Yeah,
But
exactly.
when you
And like also,
so yeah, you go.
I was gonna say like we were after I caught up on some comics and stuff yesterday, I was just telling my partner like it's so much more rewarding to be like, okay, I'm invested in this run, but reading like 3 or 4 issues at a time, I enjoy it so much more than reading
Right.
one and then waiting 4 weeks and then reading one and waiting 4 weeks. Like I just am a binge reader kind of guy, and I think
Yeah.
this is just going to force people to be like that. And I think is that good or bad? I don't know. Like where does
I
that
think
leave
probably
comics?
bad, yeah.
Where does
I
comic
think-
book streaming leave comics?
I think that because I'm obviously on the opposite end. I think more than just like I get the FOMO. I really do, because I don't want to be spoiled. I hate being spoiled on things, right? And I know that I will be. It's just the way that the internet works. If I have to see, I know that when Superman comes out, I'm like, I had to see that. There could be
That's
no
different,
scenario.
yeah.
No, I know, but assuming that a $5 comic and this movie that I really want to see are the same thing. It's just the sense of I need to see it the very first chance I can, because I know that if I don't, I will wake up in the morning and there will be spoilers, right? And I kind of feel that around most of the things that I like, right? Like even TV shows, like I'm like, okay, 9 o'clock, I got to sit down, I got to watch Daredevil because I'm going to be spoiled literally in an hour if I don't watch it right now, right?
Mhm.
But I also think that even more than just the FOMO, you have people like me who I just enjoy collecting. Like I just enjoy having long boxes. I just enjoy having the issues. I like the idea of having, like I go to the store and I'm like, okay, I get Spider-Man this week, I get Batman this week, I get Fantastic Four this week, and I get all of those stories at the same time, right? And I get to stay in this universe and it never ends, and it will never end week to week, right? And I like that. And it is it's like unacceptable how expensive they are. And I understand that the market is way smaller than it was when you could sell these things for $1. But it also gets to the point where that market is so small because these people can't afford them just at all, And you get to the point where like trades are kind of expensive. I feel like
Yeah.
though
Nowadays, yeah.
the Ultimate Spider-Man trade #2 recently came out. That was the top seller for last month, and it's $20. And I know that $20 doesn't seem like a lot for 6 issues, and it's probably a better deal than having
34,
bought
yeah.
6 issues in a row for $5. But I still feel like I see a $20 price tag on a trade paperback of a thing that's like this thin that I know I'll read in 10 minutes. I'm like, I don't want to pay that.
Yeah.
DC's doing really good with their compact comics, and I think that those things are genius. And you print them on cheaper paper stock. They're the size of a novel, and they're $10 flat. All of them, no matter what it is. If it's Watchmen, if it's All-Star Superman, if it's whatever, it's $10. And I think that that's genius, and that really works out for them. And I think that has continued to work out for them. I saw that today that DC was going to print all of their YA comics at a 10% discount. They're calling it an anti-tariff. So they're actually working for their
anti-tariff
consumers.
equation.
Oh, I saw.
You
I saw
dark
that.
side.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that that's really good. Like you have to, at some point, Disney, which they will never do this because they don't give a shit. But if they want these things to succeed, if they want Marvel to continue printing comics, they should front the cost because they're fucking Disney. You know what I mean? And they could. And Disney just released a Snow White movie that made $1.25, and it costs like $300 million. And you're telling me that they can't front the price on these comics? I just don't think that that's true. You know,
100%.
It makes me wonder if at some point comics will not exist in physical print. I mean, if you think about where digital comics were 15 years ago, they were probably non-existent. 15 years from now, right? We're in the year, 2040. Like, will there be physical comics? There might not be.
I
They'll
think
all
that
be,
They look
the
at, like,
Infinity comics. They'll all be that.
Fuck those. Fuck.
They
Yeah,
might
fuck
be.
those two, I
I
agree.
genuinely don't know. Like, I think about like the idea of these streaming services and how like streaming services 10 years ago versus streaming services now, right? Netflix was like the only thing around, and now you have like 10 different fucking streamings.
There is streaming fatigue, but I do agree with what you're saying. I think that it's not more so that physical comics will disappear. I think that you may see monthly comics disappear.
100%. And the way
look at, like,
comic shops have
physical
also
movies.
disappeared. Comic shops are not very.
Yeah, I mean that's
like
every comic shop. I mean, specific like niche shops cannot exist anymore. That's why you walk into a GameStop and they sell toys. You know, they sell action figures and Funko Pops and stuff. You know, the comic book store that I have in my mall is Newberry Comics, and they're not a personable store that somebody owns. It's a chain, but they sell like vinyls and books and T-shirts,
cards,
and
right?
Funko
Same
Pops
with
and cards and shit like that, and bags. Like you go in there, you could buy a bag, and it's because there's no market for comics that is big enough for the most part to just sell comics.
Someone say the word bag in my life.
Bags.
Bag. You can buy a bag.
You can buy a bag at my comic book store.
You said bag like it was a slur.
Because
It is.
I wish. I mean, it's just because it's like you go into that place. I go to Newberry, and I'm like the only one there that's ever looking at the comic stands. Everyone's buying records.
I
and
was
shit.
about to mention that.
And
yeah.
it doesn't fucking bother me, obviously, but I think it is indicative of a fact that nobody is really. You're not pulling in new readers because obviously we have this conversation all the time, but I think a big part of it is because of the cost.
Yeah, it's like a lot of people don't want to commit to my old store with my boy Roy, who's haven't been mentioned in a while on this podcast, but
Pour one out.
I don't go
Rest
there
in peace.
anymore because I moved, but he's still alive, I think. Actually, don't know.
Rest in peace.
He probably
You don't
is.
I hope.
But I can't confirm that. But his store, there was only me and two other people who were there to buy comics. His store survived because of trading cards mostly. From like Magic the Gathering,
Yeah,
and Pokemon cards, and
those
everything
things
like
will
that.
do that, man. They get crazy.
Yeah,
And there's times where I would like comics came out on Wednesday, but maybe I was a little bit busy. I'd go on a Friday to pick up my comics, and it was packed because new cards would come out on Fridays. So the whole store, like I couldn't find parking. I had to park across the street and walk over because it was so popular. Because people were buying cards and they're playing in the store there. And I'm like, I couldn't believe it. Well, I go on a Wednesday and I'm the only person there.
It's like a secondary like revenue stream that you have to have as a backup.
But it's their
isn't it?
primary revenue
Absolutely,
stream.
yeah,
Like it's
absolutely.
the secondary in a sense of this is technically a comic book store, but it is absolutely their
that's what I
primary
mean.
revenue stream.
Yeah.
There's a
that's what I
comic
mean.
book store on Staten Island called JHU Comics,
Staten
and
Island.
it is.
I
it
prefer
is-
Hoboken.
Hey, shut the fuck up. I think that we love Fisk down here. Apparently, we do. So
yeah, Mr. Fisk, I love you, Mr. Fisk.
but I think it is a brick and mortar like local
I
comic
love
book
that
store.
show.
And I shut the fuck up.
I hate him. I hate him.
You would have
I was like Rick and Morty. But I think it is a comic book store owned by like a small group of people, and it just sells comic books. And I don't know how they survive. There's so many comics in there. There's rows of long boxes of back issues. There's omnibuses on the walls. There's trades everywhere. There's your weekly issues. And I don't understand. I cannot wrap my head around. First of all, it's in a very good spot on Staten Island. It's like at a very popular area. And second of all, it's a really big space. And I just don't know how they're making money. They had a store in Manhattan that closed recently. And so they had to move all their comics to this store here. And again, I'm just like, I don't know how you guys make money. They have sales there where it's like a back issue sale where the more you buy, the cheaper they are. So if you buy 100 comics, you buy them all for $0.25. It's like,
Right.
how are you making money on that?
Mm.
How are they making money? And that's something where I appreciate where comic book stores owned by like people you can shake their fucking hand is they care about you because they know what it's like. They want you to be a part of this hobby. I think Tom King said it really well to us last week where he's like, we buy
Tom
comics
King.
to be a part of a conversation, right? And they want you to be a part of that
Yeah.
conversation. And so I really appreciate when they can do stuff like that. But I think there's going to be a point where shit like that is unfeasible. You know, you just can't run a
Mhm.
store like that. And I really appreciate it, but I am waiting for the day that they say that store is closing because my
Yeah.
comic book store that I grew up with closed, and that was like a heartbreaking scenario
Yeah.
for me. Yeah,
Well, yeah, one of the stores that I grew up with burned to the ground like 2 years ago.
Jesus.
Remember,
To be
I
fair,
told you
you
guys
did
about
that.
this.
Yeah, you lit the
Yeah.
fire from your kitchen.
Whoa,
My dad's a firefighter, so this is my origin story.
I went the day, well, I guess kind of the day it happened. It happened at like 2 a.m. But then the next day I went over to pick up my comics and I was like,
It's
like,
just gone. It's just
Oh, I
smoking.
thought there was a store here.
Where'd
There's
it
ashes
go?
all over.
where'd the store go?
This isn't my
a
Batman.
page of New 52 Batman
Yes.
rests and settles on the ground. No, falls to his knees.
Yeah,
First appearance of the Court of Owls.
it was meant. Yeah,
and that's exactly what I said. Yeah.
yeah. I think comics. I think it's the thing is that they
Phone
actually.
call.
The issue is that they actually are selling extremely well. What is this? What is this? What the hell is going on, man? This is a if you're listening on Spotify, I guess just go to the YouTube.
Is that in French? Jockey
Yeah.
de Paulette?
I guess chicken jockey. He wrote chicken jockey as his name in French.
Well, it's because you're Hunter Murray right now.
That's true. I am Hunter Murray. I am.
Jockey de Paulette.
That sounds. I thought it was. I really thought it said Joker Folie à Deux at first.
What would be the worst Spider-Man name? Spider-Man Folie à Deux, or would it be?
Oh yeah. Oh yes.
Jacques du Poulet.
That's how you say.
Poulet.
Oh, that's how you pronounce it. Okay.
Poulet,
Jockey de
yeah.
Poulet. Cool.
Poulet.
I hope we have zero. French
Jacques
listeners.
de Poulet.
The
Yeah. Popcorn all over. What do you
The
guys
thing-
think is the best meme from Minecraft? Like, which one do you think is the funniest?
the one that I
Is it
say the most
Jockey?
is definitely Flint and Steel.
Yeah,
Flint
I-
and Steel.
I'm a
That
big
happens
fan.
really early in the movie too. It's like 5 minutes in.
I'm a big fan of Release. I just think it's funny.
Release or Slime Cube. I really like that one too.
That one slept on. That one's not in a lot of the memes.
That one
You get a lot
slept
of,
on.
the Nether. Yeah.
That-
Yes. It's a
There's a
crafting
character in the Minecraft movie. It's one of the zombie pigmen, and his name is Chungus.
Yeah, I saw that. That's
No
crazy.
way.
Yeah, and I was like, nobody in my theater is gonna like cheer at that.
What the?
Like, nobody is talking about how this character's name is Chungus.
This Chunga, dude, it's so you can
Even
tell
on the
it was
internet?
written so long ago.
Nobody's
yeah.
saying.
Hunter, did you actually take a
People,
phone
people
call?
were at first. Yeah, I did. Yeah, my brother called me.
Dude, you leaving and the comedic timing of chicken poupole on the screen was just was so funny, dude. It was so good.
Because none of us
We
know
have
that you
been-
change your name.
Yeah, none of us know. So we've just been talking about Minecraft ever since you left.
Oh, I destroyed the conversation.
Good
I thought it
job,
was.
dude.
I thought that it was a bad movie, but I had a great time.
I thought that
Yeah,
there was
that's it.
one funny joke, like besides
I
like
laughed a
dumb
few
shit in
times.
the movie. That
I laughed a few
there's a
times.
joke where the principal
Your head's so
lady.
big.
Hunter likes it more. Hunter likes it more.
Yeah,
Go
well, of
ahead.
course he
Yeah.
does. But
I'm
there's
also
a,
like I am a Minecraft.
Oh my
fan.
god.
I've played my
Who's
whole
get
life.
bro a publisher? Who's fucking reading all this?
I like Minecraft too, but there's a joke
Like I've been playing
where-
since beta. I played before the Hunger Bar.
How do I dislike?
we
a
all
review
have
on
played
Letterboxd?
Minecraft since it came out.
I've never
Hunter.
played it. I've never played it. I've never played it in
Never
my life.
played
I
it.
swear to God, I've never played in my life.
I don't believe it.
That is
I
but-
nuts.
swear. I swear to God. I swear on
No
our friendship.
way.
I will swear on my mother. I have never played Minecraft.
Bro,
in my
it's not
life.
that
Damn,
serious.
I
It's not that
believe you.
serious.
Like, all right, I believe you.
Have you played
No, you
Terraria?
must believe me.
I think there's the one funny joke that I liked in the movie was the principal
Chicken jacket.
played
Sorry.
by Jennifer Coolidge. A villager comes into the
She
real
was
world
funny.
and he shows up and he's like, "Huh," you know how villagers are. And
Yeah.
she takes him out to dinner and they're eating dinner. And he just keeps like saying his shit. And he's like, "Huh, huh." And the waitress comes up and he's got his food in front of him.
It's
And
Jeb.
she goes,
cameo.
Jeb? Who's that?
He's he's the co-creator of Minecraft.
I thought it was a woman that was the waitress.
No, it was a man.
I don't think that's true.
He has long hair though. He does have long hair.
Okay. Anyway, he says, are you finished? And then she says for the villager, no, I think he's Swedish. And that was the one that was the one joke I liked.
Dude, that's good content right there.
That's a good joke. I was like, you know what? So a human
I
wrote that
thought
joke and it's funny. But
I
yeah.
thought she was funny in general. Her whole scene where she's on a date with the villager and she's just like, "What do you want to do after this?" He goes, "Huh." She goes, "I don't know if I should bring you home for dessert or not."
I do like that she learns villager by the end. And she starts speaking villager. She's like,
It's a great movie. It might.
No,
Now I
wasn't a
have to
great
do
movie.
Minecraft in the thumbnail, don't I?
I don't
General
think that
Chungus
it'll-
is his name. Are you fucking kidding
Yeah.
me?
That's the
General
director too. Holy
Chungus.
shit, yeah. General
Yeah,
Chungus,
fair.
yeah.
Mhm.
Fucking salute him.
Anyway, yeah,
It's pretty
crazy.
funny. I don't know. I thought it was a good movie. Well, no, I didn't. I didn't. Delete that.
You're stuck with it. You're stuck with
Absolute
it.
Record that.
cinema.
Record
I
Absolute
had
cinema.
a fun time. I had a yes. Okay. Yeah.
Anyway, Harper,
How's it
I'll
going,
leave you
guys?
another bit of news. Something you said.
Oh no, it was the Way Off by Night thing, but you already got to it.
Okay.
All good.
Comics, right? We got a few comics this week. Oh shit, I forgot to
Mhm.
check if there's any comics from last week we didn't talk about.
New One Piece chapter. You know.
Oh, did we have a new One Piece chapter for everyone?
Every
So what
week-
happened
every
in it?
week?
Um,
I'm not gonna get into it.
The
because-
One Piece was finally discovered.
No, they talked to Loki for a little
Right.
bit, and then Loki might be a good guy. There's a character named Loki, but it's not Loki.
Really? Oh, last week was Absolute Superman number 6, which is a really good issue. Okay, so this week we had big issues, I guess. We had
Ultimates 10
Ultimates number
or
11,
11,
Absolute Batman number 7, and the
Which is cool.
relaunch, the 80th relaunch of Amazing Spider-Man.
which you paid money
And-
for.
and-
You are
and-
the problem.
Listen,
You
I
are
paid
the
money. I don't
problem.
give a shit, man. It's
And-
not gonna. It's
You're
not
the
gonna
problem.
happen. The sales will never
And-
go down. It's just not gonna happen. I don't feel
and-
guilty.
And,
And-
And a
and
new entry in Harper's
And
Diary.
Harper,
Daredevil 20.
Daredevil 20, which
Did I come
I'm
up
excited
with
to
it?
hear about because I've not
Yeah.
caught up on Ahmed's run
Yeah,
at
I'm
all.
full
Oh,
I
of
don't
dude,
think I
it.
it's
ever-
20. This week's one is not the one. Last month's one is. I can't wait to talk about it.
Yeah,
Let's start
I
with that.
haven't read. I don't think I've caught up since like issue 3 or 4. Honestly, I've
Oh my god.
Fuck.
yeah, I'm
Last
way
thing I
behind.
read was the Foggy. He talks to Foggy again. That was the last thing I read.
That was a while ago now.
Listen, the
It's like
reason
4
I
months
Collected
ago.
all, on Reddit, he had all of the Amazing Spider-Man number ones. It's crazy that the
Oh, there's
last
not that
four,
many.
the last four are what since 2015?
yeah in the last
Yeah.
10 years. I guess I have
Like
the
63,
last
99,
5.
and then like what?
Yeah, I have the
2013,
2014 one, 2015. I have all of those since that 2014 one. Yeah, listen, I bought it because Pepe Larraz deserves my money. I think that he's an
The
amazing
Frog?
artist, and I'll buy a book if he draws Spider-Man in it. I'm not, I can't say no to that. I can't say no to that. And
Was
I
it good
think
though?
it looks really
Story-wise.
good. I'll say that, right? Like it looks really good. He's
It
just a
does look
good
really good.
artist.
It does look really good.
I think. Oh, was it good? Obviously, it wasn't good. Okay, obviously, it wasn't good. This is an Amazing Spider-Man issue. It's 2025. What are you expecting, dude? But there's so much weird, like. Okay, so Peter's got a new girlfriend, Shay, right? Or let me put this in quotes: girlfriend named Shay, because in this issue they all go out to a party together. It's Randy, Robbie Robertson's son. It's Peter. It's Shay, and Peter
Why saying it like
introduces
that?
Peter introduces Shay as his girlfriend,
There we go.
and then she goes, "No, you're not my boyfriend. We're not exclusive." She says he's on probation. I don't understand what
What?
they're doing with Peter and why they gotta make him look like a fucking loser.
Yeah, they really do
it's-
like doing
They
that.
went from the Paul thing, which was probably the worst thing to ever happen in the history of Spider-Man on the internet, right? Besides Lotus, maybe. But and they go immediately to the girl that Peter's seeing doesn't even consider him to be her boyfriend, and they're not exclusive. Like she Like what is that?
What is
Why?
the point of that? Yeah.
What is the
the
point of that?
point?
What does that do for Peter? That just makes him look like a big fucking dork. He just goes, "We're not." Like he just we're not dating. We've been dating in these, but in the past couple issues, you've been my girlfriend. And listen, Shay
He
sucks.
says that.
There's nothing. Yeah, like since like 10 issues ago, you said you were my girlfriend. So, but listen, Peter is a bad character now. Like there's just no way around it. And this issue is all about how he's still unemployed and he's trying to get a job, and like he can't because he's got to go fight the rhino and shit. It's
It's
like
like it's genuinely like Marvel editorial were all bullied in high school by a guy named Peter Parker, and they're like, "How can I get back at him?"
Yeah, how can I get back
at
Lame as
him?
fuck.
it's like Peter. They go into how he has an old friend from middle school. We've never gone before high school with Peter Parker, so I think this is really strange that we're talking about his middle school years now. But he's got an old friend from middle school who gives him a job, but then
All
Peter
attack,
obviously
right?
has to run away and go fight the rhino. So he's like, "Oh, I'm late." And then the guy's like, "But Peter, I vouch for you. Like everyone here, I told them you were really good." He's like, I had diarrhea," which is what he says.
What?
And
Really? That's
yeah,
not a joke.
he says, "I didn't tell them about my irritable bowel." Yeah. Um. Yeah,
It's
it's like,
Bulmatech, right? That's what
what'd you
the
say?
company. The company's
Bulma?
called Bulmatech.
Bulma?
Bulmatech.
Is it actually? Or is that? Are you joking? I don't remember.
No, I'm pretty sure I saw somewhere where there's a Dragon Ball reference in this.
Probably. I mean, that's probably no. It's Rand. Actually, it's Rand Industries. It's Danny Rand's company, I guess.
Oh.
It
Where
says.
they say Bulmatech. I saw a panel
Is
there
this
in an
is
interview.
this middle school friend inevitably going to become some villain like 10
Well, here's
issues
the
in?
thing. So there's actually they show Roderick
100%.
Kingsley, and so Hobgoblin is here, and Hobgoblin has a voice in the shadows that's talking to him, right? So it's
Ned.
probably this middle school friend of Peter Parker's, right? It's just like disheartening, and again because the art's really good, you just get Pepe drawing every Spider-Man villain, like it just looks really incredible, but it's not gonna be anything cool. And this is issue 965 of Spider-Man. We are 35 issues away from 1000, and this is where we're at. He doesn't have a job still.
I also like he's literally Hunter. That's crazy.
Who is this
I
written
have
by?
two.
It's the opposite. It's
I got news for
Tyler.
you, buddy. You got
It's
fired from both.
Tyler.
I still have a job.
Oh.
Technically, I have a job, but
No, you don't.
I do.
No, you don't.
I kind of do.
Bro,
No, you
waking up.
don't.
Everybody wakes up.
Harbor bullies children. Hunter like delivers pizzas, I think.
It's true. It does
Sure,
deliver,
something like that.
but I think it's like Brand New Day, right? So when Brand New Day happened in Spider-Man, after One More Day, there was a room of writers that were
Stupidest
writing
fucking
Spider-Man.
titles ever.
I know. All this is fucking horrible. But there was a new writers' room in Spider-Man, and it was Dan Slott, it was Zeb Wells, it was Joe Kelly, it was Mark Waid, right? And they were writing Spider-Man 3 times a month. So there were 3 issue stretches of one writer each for a couple of years, and then Dan Slott got the book overall. And since Brand New Day, Nick Spencer has been the only person that was not in that writer's room that has written Amazing Spider-Man. It has been the same people and the same editorial for nearly 20 years now, right? And it's that is the thing. That's the stat. That's where it's like, okay, Nick Spencer was the fluke. He scared you guys, and you're never going to let anything like that ever happen again.
Yeah.
Why did you let him draw the engagement ring? Why did you let him even pitch Kindred? Like, he scared the shit out of Spider-Man editorial because he got too close to the Mephisto stuff. And they will never let anything like that ever get through their fingers.
He would
again.
be such a good get for the podcast just for that.
Oh my
just
God.
I think about it. I
That'd be
really do
ridiculous.
think about it. Yeah. And listen, I think Pepe Larraz is the guy that you should have drawing Amazing Spider-Man.
Frog?
Right? Yes, the frog, dude. Pepe Larraz, the frog. But I think he's the guy that you should have drawing this book because it's Marvel's biggest book, I guess. But but I mean, it's like you still have John Romita Jr. stuff in here, so
Wait,
I
he's
don't know.
still on the book?
Yeah, they're going. They're going.
When are they
going
to put him? When are they going to put him down? Like when are they just going to stop?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
No, honestly, he's like the dog that's like struggling to walk to the water bowl, and you gotta like lift his head in.
no.
Like
He just
put him
drew
down, dude.
He did a Daredevil cover like 2 issues ago, and I
He
was
drew.
like, oh boy.
I thought
No,
I
Harper,
actually thought it
Harper
was.
missed it. I saw it.
I thought it was really good.
Oh,
but
what was it?
Pepe.
You missed it like 3.
Fuck's sake.
I thought it was really good. I actually thought it was pretty good. He drew Fantastic Four Godzilla. Actually, I thought that looked pretty good.
Oh,
But,
Harper's favorite
yeah.
comic of all time. Yeah.
Yes. Anyway,
I can't.
Anyway,
John Romita
Spider-Man.
Jr. Like it's his name that gets him in the industry. But I don't want him to be put down. Do you follow him on Instagram? He does those videos with his wife where
He's
it's like, "What are you
nice,
drawing, honey?" And he
I
goes,
mean,
"Today I'm drawing Amazing Spider-Man, and what's really
Yeah,
cool
he's-
about
I
it
mean-
is I get to do the action scene this time."
he's a nepo baby. It
Put
is
him
what
down.
it is.
Put him down.
He's the
Put
thing
him
is,
down.
never mind.
he's been drawing not just Spider-Man, but he's been drawing Marvel comics since the 80s. Like I think he's drawing like Claremont Uncanny
Almost in general,
X-Men.
he was at DC for a little bit.
He's drawing Spider-Man in the 80s. Oh, Ramos. He's drawing Spider-Man in the 80s. Like he's been at Marvel since his dad was at Marvel, so he's been there for a very long time. That's why he's still drawing stuff. But
Forgot it.
He did a
Forgot it.
cover for
Yeah.
Suicide Squad that made me drop Suicide Squad.
he did the interiors, I think, too.
So,
Yeah.
like early in the run, he did this cover. It's so sick, right? Like that's
Cool.
classic
Yeah.
JR. Like 2 issues ago, he did this one. Why does Daredevil not have a neck? Oh fuck, he doesn't have a neck.
You guys remember? I forgot that book came out.
Superman Year One. Yes.
Yeah.
Frank
I thought you never
Miller.
read it. Tyler, did you end up reading it or no? Is it
Yeah, no,
bad?
he fucks a mermaid in that.
So-
Oh.
Lori Lemaris.
Real quick,
Superman joins the
Suicide
Navy
Squad-
and fucks a mermaid.
Suicide Squad Rebirth, great. Like honestly, a pretty good book.
No,
And
it's
then
not.
issue
It's horrible.
11, John Romita Jr. No, it's the first 10 issues are good.
No, they're not. It's like fucking Killer Croc is like drowning in his own vomit. Like, no, it's not good.
They fight Zod.
That's like
cool.
that's like the second 10 issues. That's like 20 issues in.
Okay, well, issue 11, I dropped it.
Okay,
because of
well, how
this
did you even
cover.
get to that then?
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
rough. That's
Yeah.
rough. That's
That looks
That
rough.
is
horrible.
so. I remember
Holy
seeing
shit!
that
The
at comic store.
Rebirth banner, dude. I missed that so much.
I think Ramita Jr.
Those issues were $2.99. Every single one of them. Those
Yeah,
are good.
I
too.
loved.
If you wanted to watch the Flash fight a bunch of like jacked up random people in the middle of nowhere for like 20 issues, you could get that for $3.
Yeah. I
Do you remember
I-
Force Quest, JD? Do you remember Force Quest?
I remember reading it in the parking lot because I was so excited to read it.
I do too.
I-
I remember being like, is anything going to happen here? And then like Black Flash showed up. I was like, let's go, boys. And then nothing
Let's-
happened
r-
again.
Right in
Romita
here.
Jr.
Right in here.
was drawing. I think he's got a lot of goodwill for me, not just because of like I think his 90s stuff is really good. I think his 80s stuff is really good, but he's obviously drew JMS Spider-Man run, so like
It's valid.
he's gonna forever be in good graces because of that.
I was gonna say, I think he's incredible. I just think you cannot rely on him. Hey, can you do like this month's cover? Like you need to give him time.
But that's
to,
the thing
like,
about
work on something.
putting a dog down. It used to be a good dog. You can remember the good memories.
Stop it! Stop it!
Frank Miller needs to be put down too. Let's be honest.
Bro, this is a man.
Does Frank Miller need to die? I don't know about that.
I don't know that Frank Miller.
I like Frank Miller still.
I like Frank Miller.
Oh, you want to talk about shitty fucking covers in the year 2025?
Listen,
All right, well,
Are
man.
you
Look,
fucking
look.
kidding me?
Listen, hey,
I'm
let's
just saying I'm not advocating for
killing him.
murdering them.
Yeah.
That's all.
Are you
That's all I'm-
fucking kidding me?
for euthanizing him. Like that's what we're talking about.
Like what are we
Yeah,
doing? Who saw that and was like, yeah,
What are we
we'll
doing
pay,
here?
Doesn't Superman have his like? Isn't there a bulge in that?
we'll
there a
pay
big controversy
fucking
about how you
money
could
for
see
this
his
bullshit.
dick?
Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Look, he's got points.
That's like a recent fucking cover. Like,
That
Yeah,
is
no.
bad. That is
that's so
atrociously bad.
They
Still getting a
forgot
bag,
like the
though.
coloring
He's-
on Deadpool there.
He's still Frank Miller, I guess, right? Like it's just because he's Frank Miller. I mean, I read Wolverine.
this is
80s.
amazing. Like,
Yeah,
like
classic.
how is that
Yeah,
the
there it
same
is.
guy?
I don't know. I mean, Dark Knight Returns too.
Age.
300?
Have you seen what Frank Miller looks like, dude?
Sin City?
Like,
Frank Miller's not that old, by the way. Like we looked it up
no,
recently.
he's not. But
He's like he's in his 60s. He looks like he's 100. It's like Bill Murray. Like I thought Bill Murray was like easy mid 80s, and he's like early 70s. I think.
Would you pay money for this?
I did actually.
That's not its
Murray,
clobbering time.
yes.
That's like
Do you know what?
It's retiring time. It's being put down time.
He's showing off his
JD?
Murray thing because I said Bill Murray.
JD,
Oh, I see.
JD, I
I
see.
He
have
supports
I-
all of Bill Murray's actions.
I have to represent my older brother.
JD, can you show that one again, please?
Yeah. It's clobbering time.
I'll raise you a Frank Miller thing cover, and I will show you a Tim Sale flash cover. Do you remember that one?
You know what?
Just
You know what?
says
That was.
Zoom.
I remember that. That was rough.
That was a
dude.
time,
Oh,
dude.
Rest in
That
peace,
was a
Tim Sale. But
time.
yeah,
Yeah.
that was rough.
you know, I found out recently. This is kind of off topic, but it's making me think. You know that the Harley Quinn comic came out, the fart one.
The fart comment. Yeah.
You know, it wasn't Scratch and Sniff.
What?
We got lied
Did we
to.
make that up?
No, I think we didn't make it up, but I think we were lied to. It wasn't Scratch and Sniff.
Oh,
I'm
that's
wondering, like,
disappointing.
what was the point of the fart comic then? I'm like,
How do you know this, Tyler? Did you buy it? Did you try?
Listen, hey,
Did you
hey,
try
hey.
sniffing the page? That's rough too.
yes.
That's
Is it out?
What, Harley Quinn? Fart?
Yeah.
Yeah. Harley Quinn fart.
Harley Quinn fart.
Yeah, no,
I thought
fart's
we were
out. Fart
that's
came
getting
out a
clipped.
couple
That's
weeks
getting
ago.
clipped on TikTok right there. Harley Quinn.
I thought we were doing
Quinn
a live
fart?
reaction.
A live sniffing. Well, there's no sniffing to be done, so there's no point in reading.
Tyler was trying to do some research for us. He was trying to do some advanced work.
Yeah, exactly. I went to
Oh,
multiple
totally.
stores. I was like, this one must be pre-sniffed already.
That's like put him down, dude.
Jesus Christ. Put him
bad
down.
one.
You know what? Maybe.
I just think
We
at some
should've
point, like
guys.
at some point,
Guys.
let them be legends, right? Like artists need to stop drawing after a certain time. It's like actors who make shitty movies. Like
But JD, people can retire. I know
No,
that's not a
no,
concept.
People in
America. You
comics
guys just
don't,
shit
though.
everyone,
They don't
but, like,
retire. That's
you
the
can
thing.
Nobody
They
in
don't
comics retires.
like Robert. When's the last time Robert De Niro made a good movie? He should have been put down like
But
15
they
years
kill
ago.
him. You don't need to shoot him.
Recently? Was he in? I don't know. It doesn't even matter. But I understand your point. But
I dare
Like,
someone
people-
in the comments to
people
to
in
explain
comics
why.
don't
Hunter,
retire.
you and I, the non-Americans, like maybe we don't need to shoot them in the head. And the Americans are like, just kill
I didn't
him,
say
put
he
him
has to
down.
be shot in the head. He can get a lethal injection. Just put him down.
People in comics don't retire, and that is a thing, right? Like
Yeah.
they don't like.
Probably because there's no money in it. Like there's
Claremont-
no
Because there's no money. Yeah,
said this recently,
believe me,
like,
I wanted to get in the
Claremont's
industry, not anymore.
Claremont. They just announced a new Claremont book, which is a sequel to Kitty Pryde and Wolverine, which came out in 1984. So he's writing sequels to 40-year-old books, and he wrote those
Hatouche.
books 40 years ago. He's still writing these comics. He's
That's
still writing
true,
these
yeah.
characters. Like
It's still
people
going.
like him will never retire. There is no path, I think, to retirement. They like. What are they going to do in retirement? They're going to have to still fucking draw and sell shit.
go to Comic Cons, sell your fucking
Yeah.
signature, and
I don't know.
retire.
Did you
But
guys
but
say
then you get
something
Stan
about
Lee, dude.
Hatouche? Did you guys say something about Hatouche needing to be called Hatouche because they couldn't put Hush on the cover or something?
Oh no, we had a comment a couple weeks ago that said that they couldn't call it Hush 2 because that's apparently a vibrator.
Oh,
So they have to call it a Hatouche.
That's why it's Hatouche on the cover.
Jim Lee said that it was like it's supposed to look like a license plate.
I also think that that's bullshit.
It looks like
because
shit.
Yeah,
I also think that's bullshit because
okay.
there's no way that they can't call it Hush 2.
It's not even called Hush 2, it's Batman Hush 2.
Yeah,
just-
Hush.
yeah, that's a good
2.
point. Yeah,
You have
Exactly.
It's a
in the
Batman
name.
sex toy.
Let's go. They probably have
Yeah.
those.
but they could have called it like Batman Hush Rises or some dumb shit, and then just skip the.
That's the issue. But this is where we
Hush
get to
sounds
the
like
all-
one too.
Batman
This is where we get-
and the fabulous emancipation of
Emancipation
one
of one
fabulous
Hush.
This is
Hatouche.
this is the issue where it's like this isn't Hush 2 at all because we've had Hatouche already. Like we had Heart of Hush and we had stories like that. You know,
Bless you.
so they need. Thank you.
Nice.
They need to call it
That was
Hush
good.
2
That
as
was
just
good.
to clarify the fact that it's Jeff Loeb and Jim Lee again. You know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, Batman, absolute Batman, really, really good. Marcos Martin on this issue, and it's fucking gorgeous, man. I love Batman in the Absolute Universe. I love that he's 9 feet tall. I love that you get really gross shit like this. Like there's a page where he's gliding through the city, this one right here, and it's just beautiful, like all the colors and
Whoa.
everything. Like it just looks
That's
so
cool,
cool.
Imagine
If
that, but it
the,
was JRJR.
I wish. It's really good. It's like we get really creepy version of Mr. Freeze. Anyway, good book. I like it. I like it a lot.
Nice.
I think Absolute Batman is the shit. I was thinking about this today. Like when they released the first like super articulated version of Absolute Batman, no matter what company's selling it, I'm fucking buying that thing. Like I want a figure of Absolute Batman. I love him. I think he's so cool.
What if it's
Ultimates.
$500?
I mean, it's gonna be nowadays. So
Okay, that's true. That's true.
Ultimates issue 11. Hunter, you read this, right?
Yes, I did.
It's all one page. It's like all
Mhm.
splash pages, and it's a
Cool.
big like epic poem about Thor. Ugh, God, fucking Gwenpool. It's about Thor and Loki going through, not Thor and Loki, sorry, Thor and Sif
Sif.
going through the 9 realms, trying to free them from Loki's grasp, and it's all about how democracy's failing, and stuff like that. Like that's what Dennis Camp is writing about. The
Yeah.
last page of Thor is this really awesome speech where it says, because there's they try to recruit people, and there's realms that are like, no, we're good, man. Loki doesn't bother us here, so what are we gonna fight Loki for? And the last page says, in Nidavellir they gather those who can get free, those who can get free the wronged, made strong. They finally see you don't make concessions to autocrats and their oppressions. You don't make deals with tyrants. You make war. And it's just this awesome page of all of Asgard standing up
Spider-Man,
against Loki.
Wolverine, and
Fuck yeah.
Asgard. Yeah.
I thought he
Spider-Man
said-
and Wolverine, yeah. So the thing that I think is really cool about this issue is the way it ends, though. It ends with I think it's, if you pay attention to the details in the Ultimates books, this is kind of a really big twist. But Tony,
Oh yeah, the
first
last
of all,
two
Tony
pages.
gets
He's
an arc
Kang.
reactor, right? He gets his
Yeah.
arc reactor in this.
Cool.
But he confronts Doom with this video of all of the Ultimates being killed when they went to go fight the Hulk in issue 6, right? And he says to Doom, explain. So if you go back to Ultimates issue 6 where they fight the Hulk, there's a really tiny panel where you can see Doom holding the Immortus engine, the thing that you can use to time travel, and saying something along the lines of like, "Oh, 5 seconds ago I tried. Oh, they're all dead. They're all dead again." Right? It's a really tiny panel. It's one of those panels
Oh,
that's
cool.
in the corner of a page meant to be ignored.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's implying that issue 12 is going to be, we're going to finally follow up on Tony again after issue 6, but that Doom, Reed has been using the Immortus engine behind the Ultimates back and has been fucking with the timeline. Like that
Cool.
the Ultimates were supposed to die against the Hulk. And we don't know how many times he would have done this, but they were meant to die there, and that he's messing with the timeline. And I think that is the implication here. And if you go back again, if you look at the little details, stuff like that really adds up. I think that's really cool. You're gonna get you're getting like the time travel versus non-time travel argument in this. But I also think that it's very possible now we are in a timeline where Tony doesn't become Kang, because
because
It
they've subverted
says-
it. Oh, no
yeah,
shit.
because it says something like, I'm trying to find it, but there's a page where it says that he has gone and become a man. It says something like that.
Yeah,
So
it says like from lad, he was Iron Lad, but the lad became man.
something, yeah,
Okay.
something
That's
along those lines.
interesting. Like the
So I think-
idea that like we were right and he was always supposed to be Kang, but now the timeline has shifted. Wow.
Yes,
that's
he
cool.
says brain burns with a revelation, sudden sense of elevation. This whole fucking issue rhymes, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, he says infinity bears her breast, shows him everything it means to make lad into man. Right.
Mhm.
So I think that Tony's going to become Iron Man and not Kang, and that in doing what he's done, Doom has averted him becoming Kang, but probably fucked up some other shit as well. Like this was not the way that it was supposed to go. Which
It's
is,
like
I think,
it's
really
a
cool.
time traveling story, but you don't see the actual time travel happen. You're like the audience and most of the Ultimates are like a victim of time.
Yes, like this is the point where we realize that if this is a point where Doom has fucked with time, what don't we know that it's potentially Reed has messed with?
Yeah.
It's cool. I like that a lot.
It is cool. In general, I didn't like the issue too much. I thought Thor's poem although good, was felt very fillerish. Like I wanted to get back
Mm.
into like the
I'd
actual
say,
Ultimates
yeah, when
here.
Tyler said it's all a big, like, a Thor thing and it's a speech and it rhymes, I was just like, that
Yeah.
I
sounds
mean,
like my
I'm
is
worst
it
checked. I'm
nightmare.
filler?
checked out.
Yeah, I'm checked the fuck out, dude.
Is it
But
filler? Because like every Ultimates issue is a group of characters going on an adventure to solve another issue.
yeah, but this is just Thor. It felt like a Thor issue to me. And I love Thor, but when I'm reading Ultimates,
But
like
in
I
the
was just
last one, it
like,
was like Captain America fighting and the invaders fighting the Red Skull. Like that's a
I
Captain America
no,
issue.
I think it's because like the first set of issues was like all this character and then it's this
recruiting.
character and this character. Yeah, the recruiting and they build up. And I think like since that big fight, I think like I
It's just
checked out
been
at that.
everyone's
What
split
was
up
the
again. Yeah.
issue where like Steve's just walking around talking to someone in the city?
7, I
Remember that
think.
issue?
But
Yeah, that's
I don't
where
know. I
I
think
like I haven't
it's
read since then because I was just like, okay,
no, but
well,
I first of
jump
all,
back
I think
on.
that
But
the next issue is the one after that you have not read is the Guardians of the Galaxy issue, which I think is maybe the best one so far,
That's pretty
even.
good.
But
Yeah, that's a good
that's
one.
another actually issue where they reference Cosmo goes into all of their brains and says that the Ultimates all have the same nightmare, which is of them dying in the
Oh
way
my
that Tony
God.
shows here. So it's saying like you guys all have
No.
these dreams of dying
that is
because you were
cool.
supposed to die.
That's
Um,
cool.
I like that
and
a
I think the
lot.
way that they explain the way that the timeline works in that Guardians of the Galaxy issue is really cool because it says that there was a version of the 6160 universe that progressed to the point where the Guardians of the Galaxy exist. In the Ultimate Universe, they're kind of more the Legion of Superheroes. They exist in the future. They're like the original versions of the Guardians of the Galaxy. But
Mhm.
when the Maker arrived in 1961, like time crashed and it was basically catching up to the point where now that the Guardians don't exist because of what the Maker's done, time is literally folding in on them. So they do this thing where they arrive in January of 2025 looking for someone who they know that in history will betray the Ultimates, something along those lines.
Mm.
And they don't know who it is, but they're explaining that Doom is going to have a really big part in this and like maybe you shouldn't trust this guy all that much. And
Who would have thought?
I thought it was a really cool issue. I really like that. And I really just like how the concept of the fact that time ends when the Maker shows up, but the timeline still exists even though it's running out. Like they have to race against time ending catching up to them. I thought that was really cool.
Yes, I agree that the concept is good, and I do like the story, and I like that everything's being connected. I just thought 19 out of the 24 pages here were like
Yeah, I mean it's
felt
just
very
one of those things.
fillerish.
I think what they're at now is I mean it we're only at 7 months until the Maker shows up again.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
That's
one
why
of
I'm
those
like,
things
all
where I think
right.
the first half of the Ultimates or the first year is them recruiting, and now it's like, okay, well, now we actually have to like knock some dominoes down. We actually have to do some shit. You could argue that the Luke Cage issue was a filler. I thought it was a
It
really good
was.
issue.
It was good, but it was a filler.
Last issue I thought was really good, where they have to fight the Red Skull. Turns out the Red Skull's
Yeah.
Bucky, which I think is really
Mhm.
cool.
I like that. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I still think Ultimates is maybe the best Marvel comic out right now. So
Yeah, it's just like the last issue we had that Bucky reveal, and now it's just like, okay, now let's go to the Nine Realms, which is fun and all, and it had cool ideas. I like how like Loki sits on the throne and he has Odin's head on a spike, but Odin still speaks to him.
yeah,
I thought that
yeah,
was
that's
a
cool.
cool idea.
I like that
But
Loki's fat.
yeah, Loki is fat.
He's like he's become like
He's Canon
gluttonous.
Harper, yeah.
Yeah. I really liked it. I don't know. I thought it was really cool. I just like that every issue is something completely different, and that shows like Dennis Camp can
It's
kind
the
of
ultimate
do
book, yeah.
anything. Yeah.
Mhm.
DC
Daredevil?
fanboy. Oh, yep.
DC
Okay.
fanboy.
All right. All right. So, Tyler, you're early in. Hunter, you're like six or so behind, but you'll both know what I'm talking about. So, the whole sins thing, Matt obviously came back from hell at the end of Zdarsky's. He's brought these
Yes.
seven devils with him who all
Hmm.
represent one of the seven deadly sins. The
Hmm.
reason I've had a couple people reach out and ask me to cover this is because this story, the seven deadly sin story, only wrapped up last issue. 19 issues has been the
Yeah.
first arc.
That's kind of like
it's
that's kind of Tom
like
King's Wonder Woman. He just had 19 issues of the Sovereign arc.
it's
Yeah, it
Yeah.
just ended, yeah.
it's not like it just went on and on. Like the most exciting thing for me, and it's stupid because it's just like so me specific, but for the last five issues, I think Hunter, where you're at, they've started teasing Wrath, right?
Yes.
The final sin that he
Wasn't
has
it
to
like
face.
Kingpin or something like that? Yeah.
No, that was before that. No, Kingpin was Kingpin
Gluttony.
was yeah, no.
No, that was
Was he?
She-Hulk. That was She-Hulk.
Yeah, no. Was he? No, he wasn't Pride because Foggy was Pride. Um, what was he?
Who
What
knows?
are the
Sloth.
sins?
Lust.
No, it wasn't lust.
Greed, is
Makes
that one?
sense.
Isn't greed
Greed.
one or
He was
something?
Oh, it
greed.
was
He
great.
was
It
greed.
was great. Yeah.
Yeah, so the last two that Matt has had to face is Foggy being possessed by Pride, which was actually really cool because it was like Foggy being really good at his job as a lawyer to begin with, but what if he was just a massive asshole? And that was like a couple issues ago. But Wrath, the big one that they've been teasing for like 6 issues, is just a big wolf. And I was like, oh, yay, werewolves.
Right
It's
up your
Daredevil
alley.
fighting.
Made for
Daredevil
you.
fighting. Look at it. Look at this stupid fucking thing. It's got like 2 sets of arms for no reason. Anyway, it's cool. But this arc has gone on for a while. And I think I probably like this run more than a lot of people. And by that, I mean, I think it's pretty good. I think it's better than fine. I don't think it's great. I think the art fucking carries it immensely. I think it's beautiful. I think it looks fucking awesome. There was one panel, yeah, there was this panel the other day where it's Matt just like looking out over the city. And I was just like, fuck yeah, dude, it looks
That
so
looks.
good.
I really like. Is that it's Cooter, right? Aaron Cooter.
Yeah, let's go with
I
that.
I really like him.
Um, but so the second last issue, 19, was like the big wrap up, and it's basically Wrath is giving Matt Murdock the ultimate superhero choice. I'll bring up the photo. So he has abducted Bullseye. Oh, another just great one page. Look at that. This is for YouTube listeners, YouTube watchers only, but still. He's giving Matt a choice, right? So he's holding up both Foggy Nelson and Bullseye, and he's ripped off Bullseye's arm, and Bullseye is useless. And so Matt is fighting Wrath, and he says, this kind of ties in with a conversation we had in the group chat the other day. But Matt says, the thinking part of me knows I can't defeat Wrath with violence and anger. It knows my only chance here is to deny the devil's power by choosing peace over my own fury. But the part of me that feels doesn't care. My father's death, childhood in Hell's Kitchen, the endless parade of people who have tried to kill me, one thing's kept me going through it all. My anger. Cool moment, right? And then so Wrath says to Matt, now you understand you'll never be rid of me because you need me. Wrath has kept you alive year after year, kept you safe from threat after threat, but I require sacrifice and you must choose. And so he picks them both up, and it's like, it's Spider-Man 1.
Let
You
die the women you
choose.
love
Yeah,
or
yeah.
suffer the children.
And it's cool because
Don't do it, Gabby.
Bullseye's like,
We
Daredevil, you
are who we
lousy
choose to be. Now choose.
Sorry, dude, he is the best MCU movie villain. Just anyway.
Sure.
Bullseye's like, Daredevil, you lousy fuck, you better fix this. And Foggy's all like, Daredevil, don't worry about me. Which I'm like, Foggy, I know you're like a good guy, but like, no, save yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, make an argument for yourself, dude. And so Matt says, Wrath releases both men at once. My friend and my worst enemy plummet toward their death. There's no time for clever plans or noble speeches. If I was truly a man of God, I would agonize over my decision, but I've never felt more like the devil. And there's this sick page where like Matt's in the middle and they're both
Nice.
falling like that. It's so cool. And so like classic superhero scenario, Daredevil's like, I throw Bullseye a lifeline while catching Foggy, but it doesn't matter. I've made my choice. And then the next panel is just Bullseye smashing on the ground, dying.
Oh,
I like turned the page. I went, oh, okay. So what's gonna? My God!
That's one of those things where it's like a scenario where he's just gonna go, all right, and oops.
Yeah, fuck it. Like I gotta
Yeah.
do it.
That I
didn't
love
see
that.
anything.
But like,
Butterfingers over here. Oops.
Matt afterwards goes, I tell myself Bullseye's dodged death 1,000 times. I tell myself his corpse won't be there. I tell myself these things up until the moment my radar sense hits the red smear below that used to be a human being.
How does he know it's red? I'm kidding, but yeah.
And then like
he knows what
this
blood is.
arc ends just with like Like Wrath the demon
They have a
basically just
party.
being like, all right, I did it. Like, yes, witness the consequence of your fury, your fear. For angry is born of afraid, and fear is the father of wrath. You have finally come home to us. You may have the child back, brother. We no longer need him, for you have finally proven yourself worthy of hell. And then they just leave him alone. I was like, damn.
Wow.
It really just came to be like, you suck, dude.
Kind of cool, actually. I
I
like
like,
that.
I thought Ahmed's, I mean, obviously it's not as good as Zdarsky's. I don't
No.
know that I was really feeling it when it first
I
started,
wasn't.
but it's
I
good.
wasn't.
It's look, I think this like that issue and the ending and like the foggy stuff recently has like really picked it up. I think there was
Got
like
the black
four
suit
issues in
back.
there. Yeah, so that's the newest issue. They've basically born again this run, partway through the run with like this week's issue. Like it's almost not a reboot, but it's like months later, and now Matt has like he's back together with Nyla, who he was dating when he was remember when he lost his memory in the 90s in like the Chichester run Chichester? I don't know how to say his name.
Oh, you're talking about
But when
Fall
he
from Grace around that.
fall from grace, so when he like
He
lost
has the
his
black
memory and he
suit.
put on
Yeah.
the black suit and he's going by Jack. So it's the
I
girl
think
that he
I
was
think that's
like.
when he was going by Mike. No, was he not going by Mike then too?
No, I'm pretty sure he's going by Jack. I think he was going by his dad's name. But yeah, so the girl that he was dating at the time then is like back in this story, and so they're seeing each other again, except he's being like, "Hey, I know you met me as a
That's
guy
funny.
named Jack, but actually my name's Matt, and actually I'm a blind lawyer, but also a priest sometimes." And she's like, "Okay, cool." And so they're a thing, and I guess because it's a nostalgia trip, he's got the black suit back on. I mean, he
Don't you
does explain.
love don't you love when you
Okay,
can tell when
Oh, it's
a
like
writer
Shadowfell.
no what?
no, no, it's not.
Or
Shadowfell?
oh, I thought it was, yeah, never
You
mind.
meant Shadowland as well?
Shadowland, yeah.
Also not that, yeah. But
Yeah. I
I
saw what he meant. You
yeah.
combined you put Fall from Grace and Shadowland
I
together when
think
Shadow
Yeah,
fell.
yeah.
I always think it's funny when you can tell when a writer started reading the character. Because like
Yeah, yeah,
he
yeah.
definitely would have been reading at that point. That's when he would have started because nobody gives a shit about that.
No, well, yeah, it's all right.
But about that girlfriend from that era as well, you know?
No, that's fair.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
like
I
but like it really is like a soft reboot in this series. Like they wrapped up the
Mhm.
Sins thing and he's like, all right, let's go completely different. And like
Cool.
I think he's like, my usual outfit is ripped in a dozen places and I can still smell death on it. So, like, there's a story reason for the new suit,
Oh,
but it's
okay.
also like, what if we're doing a fucking 90s throwback? Hell
Remember
yeah.
that?
Which
I
I'm
mean,
all for. I
didn't
love
they
that.
recently do a comic literally called Daredevil
Yeah, they
Black
did. They
Suit?
did a 4-issue series, which
Yeah.
looked really pretty. And I
I
read
think
2 issues of it.
I know Ahmed is also writing Wolverine, and I heard that he created a character that's the god of metal, and that
Oh my
he
God. Dark Knight's death metal? Is it
it might
Barbados or what?
explain like that adamantium is the remnant of this god that's older than time, and so he's just created Wolverine's null basically.
Oh, he
Well, didn't I
did.
mean Cap 4 did that with the hand in the ocean and we're getting adamantium out of it.
No, I know, but they didn't say that he was a god of the metal.
Yeah, no, that's
I
yeah,
don't,
that's fair.
I don't, I don't not like it.
I will
Okay,
say,
I'm okay with that. Yeah, I'm okay.
Was
I
that a
think
Justice
Ahmed's
League
run.
reference right there?
Yes,
Is
it
that
was.
yeah, that was bad. That was terrible.
I just love when they add random shit. Like last night was one of those nights where I just spent reading the wiki looking at weird cosmic nonsense. And I found like there's a book where this might have been Al Ewing where Marvel's in the 8th version of their Cosmos right now after Secret Wars, and that there's the first version of the Cosmos turned heel and went sentient. And so you have the first universe ever of the Marvel cosmology be a bad guy. And there's a team called the Ultimate Ultimates, which are all of the
Oh, yeah.
all of the next multiverses, all of the next
Mhm.
cosmoses teaming up to fight
Mhm.
the original cosmos. It's literally a team of a bunch of multiverses as people fighting another guy. And
Brutal.
it's like what? Like what's just like what are you on, dude? I love Al Ewing. What is he on?
That's one of those things that just doesn't matter at all. Like no
Yeah,
one else is gonna
literally,
pick
like
up on that.
nobody was gonna. I don't know. There's
No
weird
one's
shit.
followed up on that.
I mean, it's definitely weird shit. It's one of those things like Marvel has so many moving parts and nonsense according, with their cosmology now. Like when Al Ewing also retconned that the King in Black is the opposite of the Beyonders and that they're connected.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
It's all ridiculous nonsense bullshit.
Mhm.
I love
Anyway,
it though.
I think Daredevil's pretty good.
Yeah.
I think
I
I
was
was
gonna say
enjoying
that-
it most when it was just like here's She-Hulk and here's
Zdarsky?
Wolverine and they're
Oh, yeah.
possessed, and it was just like he's
Should I
fight-
catch
like,
up? You think I should catch up?
I think you
This
should
makes me
catch
want to
up.
catch up.
I think this might be the first time I'm not reading Daredevil since I started reading Daredevil.
I think
Which
if
would
you
have
want to
been
catch
Mark
up on the
Waid.
Sin stuff, you'll catch up because like now it's a completely new arc, and then I think you can probably wait on it for.
Damn, I didn't even realize that. Yeah, I must have had a 10-year long streak of reading Daredevil all the time, and then I just dropped on this one.
It does
Tyler,
sound very good.
maybe you'll really like this arc because now it's The Last of Us. Look,
Oh,
Oh.
fungus. Let's go.
yeah, he's getting funky with fungus. I don't know why.
Nice.
We don't know why that's happening yet, but yeah.
Anyway,
Do you like the suit at the end, or do you wish it was like the Charles Soule black suit?
what do you think
Do
is
I
his best
like
black
this?
suit?
I think it's the Charles
Oh,
Soule.
the Soul one easily. Yeah,
I
it's
don't
not
know.
even-
I really like the Shadowland one. It's just simple. It's
Nah,
like,
I love the
I
red
like
wraps.
The
Red wraps.
you
on
know,
the
I like
arm.
the obviously I like the red wraps. I just like the
and
red
the D.
boots.
I like the D with the little.
the horn on it. I
I
like
like
the
a lot
red
of
boots.
nostalgia for that run, dude. A lot of nostalgia.
It's
for that
it's
run.
good.
Souls?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, no, that's
Yeah.
probably his best black suit. I mean, I also do really like the armor though. The armor
I
is
like
really
that
cool.
too.
You don't like it?
I'm not a fan. No, yeah,
I
I
think
think
it's
it looks
neat.
out of place.
Fun.
I guess.
When it shows up in Charles Soule's run when he's just basically doing like costume cameos like later.
Oh
in
yeah,
that
during
run,
like in the
I was just
bar,
like,
yeah.
"Ooh." Yeah,
I always
was
do
so
like
excited.
there's that issue in Soul's run where he teams up with Spider-Man and he's being like really
Yes, I love
reclusive
that.
and like an
Yeah.
asshole, and Peter
Yeah.
just goes, "You got to
And
watch out for those
Spider-Man's, "You
black suit
suck,
arrows."
dude.
No, I love that line
Yeah.
where he says, "You got to watch out for those black suit arrows because they can really take
Yeah,
everything
so
from you."
good.
That is so good.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Anyway,
good. Yeah, I
Also,
love this.
Foggy's definitely alive in the TV show, 100%. Vanessa's got
Yeah.
him stashed somewhere.
100% spoilers, but oh man, what an episode! Are we going to talk about that next week? Because it's the finale.
Let's talk
Bro,
about the
like-
show next week. Yeah.
We'll talk about it next week. But dude, like, especially spoilers. But him getting hit, I'm like, how's that going to tie back in? He also got shot. Blah blah blah. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Oh, same
Is he
kind
going
of
to
That's what
realize
good
something?
men do. They protect their
is he-
enemies or whatever. Yeah. They defend
dude,
their
Dude,
enemies.
that setup was so good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude.
I also
Holy shit,
love
what an episode.
that the reason Bullseye escapes is because Matt could not contain his anger. That's fucking
Yeah.
good.
When he's like, yeah, thank
When he
you.
smiles a bit
Fuck
too.
you.
Yeah. He started smashing
I
his head on
love
the
it.
table. Yeah. So
Do you
good.
remember, like, before this show came out, I'm pretty sure I said I would kill myself if it wasn't good. So we got another
You're
year
good.
at least, boys.
What if
We
it
got
goes
another year.
completely downhill next week?
I
What if
don't
it's
think
like
so.
WandaVision?
I have so
telling
much
you,
hope
I'm
and
t-
confidence.
What if
Tyler,
they
was
find?
WandaVision.
Okay, how about this? How about this? How about this? They find like witness protection house, right where Foggy would be. They bust in. It's John Favreau's Foggy. His name is Franklin Boner.
Mm.
that
Ooh.
literally. Oh god,
That's literally what happens.
yeah, like literally that's
That
what
is
happened.
exactly what happened.
Oh god, I hate.
All right.
I hate
Anyway,
things you.
Franklin Boner.
Matt will be
It's-
like, "Why? What happened?" And Franklin will look at him and just hold up the comedian pin and cut
Yeah,
the credits.
yeah.
yes.
One Piece.
Foggy
The
used to
One
love
Piece is real.
cheeseburgers.
I love it. Anyway, good episode. Watch Harper's video, please. It would really mean a lot to him.
Mhm.
No, Tyler, no one
Please.
is an hour and a half into this video and is
He
thinking
was
to go-
tasting metal before.
Yes, this morning it was dangerous.
Yeah,
You could
yeah, it
lift
was-
up
it
your
was-
neck. Let me see if you. But
because
Anyway.
it was a little. He was just like, I don't know if it's 6 glasses of wines, and all of like JD, Tyler, and I were probably like making coffee at that point, like
no,
exhausted.
dude, I would just
So
woken
it
up. I
sounds
was
like you're
I was
day
like,
drinking.
What's going on? Yeah.
I have had to like tape up my wrist, but it's fine. It's all good.
oh,
It's a receipt. It's a receipt. It's all good.
Anyway, good episode. Leave 5-star reviews. Send us emails at herostorycomics@gmail.com. And subscribe, do the like, following, all that good stuff. And We'll see you next week with our Daredevil Born Again review. Thanks for being a hero. Whop!